have the puck. When he has the puck, they have him. He shoots, he scores. He puts things happen on the cross and they can translate to measure pocket systems. A system that emphasizes being able to do everything in your power to shoot that amazing team ability. Pocket, which is really the compromise. It's really talk to the media, talk about how they're going to improve this game. How strong said he's calling your pocket. And that conversation on the phone was part of the reason he decided to become a best team. How Nick Tedeschi would help his player work through those works. I think that goal scoring element was just a good job of that. But as the next few games continued with Vancouver, Strong just didn't really enough. And of course, you can say that opportunity plays a part of it. They only had 9 minutes in the game yesterday against the LA Kings, which included a 5-minute power play. Virginia Strong ultimately, I mean, I don't want to say it wasn't living up to his potential, but I think it was quickly evident based off of how the season began that some of the improvements that we thought were possible at this point may not have actually been as realistic as we thought. And I don't think that's necessarily a knock on Strong. I don't necessarily think it's a knock on Pocket either. I'm saying both of these parties just have this idea, hey, we're going to try it. Hey, I'm going to hopefully become a better player. I'm doing this here. And I would say, considering Strong was such a cheap contract, it was only a 1-year contract. I don't want to say he's got so much value now, especially since his sprint production has taken a hit from the prior 2 seasons. It was really a steal, honestly, when the Canucks signed this guy a few months ago. Oh, yeah, I think this 20 goal score for $900,000 instead of passing to play with us. But unfortunately, beyond the first 2 games of the season, he didn't really see too much success of that pairing. Now, going over to Seattle, taking a look at why they are acquiring this guy, it honestly kind of strikes me as weird why Seattle in particular that is making this sort of an acquisition, because I think it's just back and they've been pretty deep forward-wise for most of the season. If you go over to the Seattle Pocket lineup analysis, I'm going to take a look at this right here. I mean, are you telling me that Brandon Strong is going to beat out Ellie Tolman for a spot? Or Ty Hartfield or Brandon Tanner? If you think he's going to get the bottom of the lineup of pretty strong hockey players. The problem is, though, with Seattle, they're kind of scared of getting an extra guys. They can't really get a spot out of guys other than Eric against Brendan Montreal. Now, it looks a pretty good sign to extend the season seeing Seattle mentioned Montreal. But realistically, when it comes to the rest of this team, you can say that they're not really many guys. They're trying to fight for spots and trying to sort things out in terms of their role and just a bit more abilities here. Like one of the dancers, for those players who are subject to 30 minutes before the game now, I'm not saying going the Strong is going to absolutely light the life on fire, but there are some guys that have to force himself to beat out if he wants to get the opportunity to do that. Maybe because Seattle has already played with this dude for a season where he has 20 goals, 66 games played as a game, and maybe because they're already used to him, they know how these games operate, he knows how they operate as a team, and overall I think there might be just a better fit there with the Seattle Kraken. So Vancouver, this doesn't really seem like a trade where it's like, oh yeah, they're getting juice here, Vancouver stars, so they're like, oh yeah, here you go. Dallas Bronx will take into consideration. It's not like the Canucks are losing out in this trade per se. It seems more so that they're trying to just give this guy a better opportunity and open up another roster spot for that. Because as we've always been talking about, the Canucks have so many forwards that, okay, maybe when they're healthy, they have so many forwards that are capable of playing in the lineup. There are literally 10 or 11 that are guaranteed if anybody's healthy. Now, Josh Besser on the sidelines for now, and Dakota Johnson also slowly coming back. We'll see what that final spot looks like, whether it's Norman, or Hayes, or Monty, or Rocky. Every other spot is pretty much taken up now. So if the game of spots are really just going to go there, it opens up one more free opportunity. So I'm going to pass it to about Strong over Seattle, but see the considerations. It is a 1-0 trade. I hope you enjoyed this with Frozen 99. And Buck. With Google Workspace, calendar lets you share your previous availability, so customers can book time on your calendar without any back and forth. That's the point of scheduling is easy with Google Workspace. Oh, no, you don't. We're not done until I. What? I don't want to go out there and totally damn from anybody's throat, but wow, is this narrative something that we did not expect in the slightest? Then what I wanted to do was just go over to a pretty popular one about it. Talk about how Nashville Predators fans are feeling about the Vancouver Canucks. Because early last night, after the Canucks beat the LA Kings with 3 weeks in Steph Curry-like dominance, we saw ourselves this post made on the R Predators subreddit. Len is playing out of his living mind. And included is a little screenshot of the ESPN profile. Kevin Lankinen, 32, he's a goaltender from Finland. He's got a 7-2 record, 2 improvement average, which is 4th in the league, and a 9.3 save percentage, which is 6th in the league. He also has 1 shutout and is tied for 4th in that category. I still deeply believe that the Predators should have given this man more starts so he would sign that $2 million deal. So freaking upset that he is gone. Now, let's dive into the Canucks and their perfect for us before we speak about the Nashville Predators, because I feel like for Kevin Lankinen, the fact that he had himself an opportunity to possibly get more money than what he got right now, he's at $8.75 million a year with the Vancouver Canucks on a one-year contract. The thing is, a lot of what Lankinen's decision process seems to have been wasn't necessarily directly tied to dollars. Like, sure, if the team went out there and offered Kevin Lankinen a $4 million contract, he probably would have accepted that. But the fact that he was only $2 million a year with the Nashville Predators and came out a season there and 24 games getting only a save percentage of 218 goals a game, I think there was a lot of sentiment going around that said that Kevin Lankinen wasn't really just taking a tremendous amount. If he were to sign, he would probably sign it out of passing, right? And so Vancouver, they wanted to sign Lankinen later on in the offseason because the faster than they uncertainty and didn't want to rely on Yuri Patera. But for the Lankinen, he wanted to perform money until the very end of the offseason. He was like, fine, okay, I'll sign. $75,000. The thing is here, I feel like Lankinen was more so attached to the opportunity than the strict dollar amount. Obviously, he doesn't want to be underpaid, but in a situation like Vancouver's, he had to go in very honestly, say to the guy, look, we want to play. We're going to play. Arthur Fiala from you will be the one and only one to see. And Sankadenko is going to take some while to recover. Nolan is going to be ready, so you are going to get plenty time, Lankinen. In fact, you could potentially love Arthur Fiala for the main #1 spot on the team. Do you think you can do it? And Lankinen said, sure. There seems to be the overall dynamic as to how things went down. Of course, maybe not quite word for word. I'm paraphrasing the thought process here. But Kevin Lankinen came over to Vancouver with a lot less about the money and more about the opportunity. There was this starting spot open in the city. And if Dr. Duncan's uncertainty is going to be up to Fiala, Patera, or Lankinen to force themselves into that spot. Unfortunately, Fiala has been terrible this year. It seems like teams around the National Hockey League got the book on Fiala from the playoff run. Now it's going to be much more difficult to consistently in the city to make it. Kevin Lankinen, on the other hand, has been to the NHL for a while. He's had pretty good seasons in Nashville and then in Chicago. So to see him come over to Vancouver, start out in this way, provide such a stabilizing, prominent presence in net, and be one of the best goaltenders, statistically speaking, it's got a mind game. And I think once Sankadenko comes back and you have Denko Lankinen, this could legitimately be a Swayman Hallmark situation in terms of how good the quality of goaltending is. Now, it's okay. Hallmark one of that time. Swayman was in something for that time. Hallmark, Lankinen, and Sankadenko in that sort of, he scores for 24, 25 in the summer season. He thought, but there's really a lot of optimism in regards to how long these guys can play. So with actually might. I want to be able to talk about this because right now these stars have a 9.48% in 11 games. 206 goals of position. Records 57 and 1. The Knights also signed Scott Redwood. He's got a score 1% in 3 games played. Really not great. And when you think about it, look, a lot of Braves fans are going out there and talking about the departure of Kevin Rankin and how he thinks so much better than what the Braves have. But they're also talking about a few other things. Firstly, he's on a much better team. And I'm not going to disagree with you, but there are some comments like the one underneath saying you watched our series with the Canucks last year and thought that team was significantly better. I came away thinking that team is way overrated. So, you can also agree that we can have defense as facility status. Not the top, we're not going to have very stats really stand down. So we go to the stats that defense and times. They expected residents for the Minnesota City. The second lowest is Minnesota. It's like both those teams are pretty low teams. Limit quality trust and it's a 36% of the teams
Let's go, Frank. Mazar taking the reins for this.
And I think that's definitely a big part of it. The people invest this season, they go through 30 years of runs to go on right. They're bronze to make it fun, but everybody else is kind of needing to step up a little bit. Which is kind of ridiculous when you think about how many missing events that haven't been possible. The video, especially defensive abilities to set for a set of see how the individual is thinking about it in the league, despite how many go off offensively. I know which doors we like is truly technical. And for the Braves fans over here to talk about it, it's interesting to see them acknowledge they were also part of that sort of system back when Don Hines was the coach of the team. That's why Stars had great save percentages. Another comment says, hey, Rankin is doing very well, and everyone is obsessed with the Yaroslav Astro. Your point? He's the number one creative prospect in the league. Really not supposed to be excited to see him play? And I think just kind of the idea goes like, oh, yeah, they could have Rankin and Astro. Two guys that are must and starting big well. Big struggling in some uses. I'm not going to say the blame to it. I'm not going to put any blame in it. He got the benefits. He got it for money to get it done with his kids. What direction we see him against the next? There are some question marks there. Another comment says, of course, Rankin is playing at this online and having he leaves us. I'm not a doom speaker, but nothing is going right this season. Fun fact, he was playing just as well with us. Our defense just sucks. Why do the Braves let this guy go? Why have we not re-signed him? Was it expensive? Makes zero sense. But wait a second. If he wanted to start, he wasn't going to in Nashville. He went to take the lesson of the offer from the fan again. Cooper has to start. And honestly, his third starter status was going to be and some other things to talk about Jackson for saying that he wanted to leave and others the Cooper as an option here. It is kind of ridiculous if you think about some of the other people that do not have any goaltending like very good as Kevin Rankin. Like, what, before we were Cooper signed this guy? Like, you think about teams that are really good, you think about teams that have actual population and NHL weakness. And Kevin Rankin is better than 90% of the NHL goaltenders. So, this is strictly due to being driven defense, and he's doing this well. I want you to live up your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you're a Predators fan, you'll say, well, some of y'all doing this. And you get some comments from Predators fans once in a while. What are your thoughts on Rankin and doing as well?
In this video, it's a chilling journey to the top 15 scariest cemeteries in Australia. On the locations where the spirits of the past are said to still roam. From shadowy apparitions to tearful cliffs, cemeteries with questioning what truly happens, and the dead tell their histories. Guys, Redwood Cemetery, Sydney is out there. Redwood Cemetery is more than just Australia's largest cemetery. It's a place with history and with family elements of a hidden chilling spectacle. Established in the 1867s, this sprawling cemetery holds over 1 million souls, making it one of the largest in the southern hemisphere. The sheer size of Redwood means countless stories lie buried beneath its grounds, many of which continue to reach out from beyond the grave. Visitors have reported hearing whispers carried by the wind, shadowy figures darted between the tombstones, and even a glowing wound covered above the graves at night. One of the most spine-chilling tales involves the ghost of a woman in white, citing that this spectral figure of common in the oldest sections of the cemetery where she's seen wandering, lost, and forlorn. Some say searching for her child, while others believe she is a spirit who never dies. With which the tale of the Americans adds to the sense that is involved. The grave still has a context, the shepherds, and business of the Spanish pandemic. With so many tragic stories of death, it's not only visit cemeteries and unstuck to get something like that someone can see. The air is filled with a sense of sorrow, and being that you're never truly alone, lingers long after you leave. 2. West Terrace Cemetery, Adelaide, South Australia. Welcome to West Terrace Cemetery, Adelaide's oldest and most haunted burial ground, established in 1837. This cemetery is the pilot for close to thousands of human soldiers, early settlers, and infamous killers. It's not a tradition of being some of these souls, they're truly gone. One of the most strange ghost tales the West Terrace of the Black Shadow. This mysterious figure is just seen wandering the grounds at night, disappearing behind gravestones and appearing out of nowhere. People have reported feeling cold chills when this ghostly apparition passes by, even on the hottest summer nights. The cemetery is also home to the ghost of several months, a notorious bushranger who led a fire trip. Some say they've seen him pacing around his grave, his ghostly form bathed in a thick, eerie glow. Even more unsettling are the countless unmarked graves scattered throughout the cemetery. These are believed to belong to the poorest members of society, and it's said their restless spirits still linger, waiting for recognition of these deeds. West Terrace is a place where history comes alive, literally. Those tourists regularly visit the cemetery, and many participants claim to have seen flickering lights, heard faint whispers, and felt an unforgettable sense of dread. Could it be that these spirits are trying to tell us something? The third Stephen Down Cemetery, Parramatta, New South Wales. John Cemetery, Sydney Parramatta, is Australia's oldest European burial ground, with its first recorded burial dating back to 1790s. It's a place where the past is very much alive, and where ghostly encounters are anything but rare. Legend has it that the ghost of a young convict girl roams the cemetery, especially near the oldest headstones. Witnesses describe her as wearing tattered clothes from the colonial era, her eyes hollow and sorrowful, as if searching for something, or someone by the cemetery walls. As we walk through St. John, you can't help but feel the weight of history pressing down, as if the souls buried here are going to share their stories. The eerie stillness and the sense of being watched makes this cemetery one of the most haunted places in Australia. Visitors often feel sudden cold spots, hear disembodied whispers, and see shadows that are just beyond their sight. 4. The Cemetery, Brisbane, Queensland. Two-Home Cemetery in Brisbane has become a resting place for over 120,000 souls, but it's the living who have the most terrifying encounters. Established in 1875, this cemetery is home to 100 tombs winding pathways, and a long history of ghostly activity. The most famous ghost is that of the Blue Lady, who's often seen wandering the cemetery's winding paths. She's believed to be a woman who died tragically in the early 1900s, and her apparition is said to appear in a soft and glow. Witnesses claim she's harmless, but her presence seems chilled down the spine of anyone who encounters her. Another unsettling existence reported by visitors is the sensation of being followed, and her footsteps trailing behind them, only to turn around and constantly attack. Paranormal investigators sometimes explain disembodied voices on audio recordings, adding to the eerie reputation of this burial ground. Two-Home Cemetery is a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and those brave enough to visit after dark often leave with the story left of the dead. 5. Ballyconn Cemetery, Valley, Victoria. The Ballyconn Cemetery, with its deep symbolic here of the 1850s, is a filling reminder set on time with violent death. And it seems that some of them was living near the wall. One of the most famous events is that of the miners was killed in a brawl over a full claim. Guinness is stated that his built water in the cemetery, still searching for the fortune and the time. There are also reports of a woman judged tonight in Stephanie Asylum, who appears at the grave of her child. Her face etched with savage. Those tours is quickly explored the thousand village cemetery, and participants often capture strange words, explain lists, and even shadowy figures on camera. The cemetery's connections to the Gold Rush, combined with its eerie atmosphere, makes it one of the most haunted spots in the forest. Sixth, Northern Cemetery, Hobart, Tasmania. Located just outside of Hobart, the cemetery may sound like an ordinary burial ground at first glance, but its eerie past makes it one of Tasmania's most haunted locations. This cemetery holds the remains of over 72 convicts, and it will die under harsh conditions. It's believed that the restless spirits of long-forgotten souls still haunt the ground. One of the most unsettling stories from the country is the frequent appearance of ghostly figures seen walking between the tombstones and dust. These apparitions often vanish without a trace, leaving behind a lingering sense of dread. Some say they are the spirits of convicts who died in Hobart's brutal legal system, unable to find significant death. Visitors to the cemetery also report sudden drops in temperature, particularly in the evening days. Paranormal investigators don't explain the electromagnetic activity believed to be one of the cemetery's haunted reputation. Whether it's the convict history or tragic case of the settlers, the cemetery is a hot spot for suspicious human. 7. Southfair Cemetery, Sydney, New South Wales. Southfair Cemetery, perched on the cliffs overlooking Sydney Harbour, is as beautiful as it is haunting. The cemetery, with grave dating back to Wilson convicts, has a long history of ghostly sightings and unexplained phenomena that have left visitors gaping. One of the most famous stories involves a spectral figure known as the Lady in White. Witnesses describe scenes are walking along the cliff's edge, vanishing into the mist just as suddenly as she appears. It's believed she's the ghost of a woman done to death, and her spirit has been searching for ever since. Marking this tragic tale, many visitors report hearing strange whispers carried by ghostly breeze, as if the soul's buried here are trying to communicate. Some even speak figures sleeping in the pit, only for them to disappear in the thin air. The cemetery's location, so close to the crashing waves below, adds to its eerie atmosphere. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous studies here, and the results are often unsettling, with strange energy readings and disembodied voices caught on tape. Southgate Cemetery is a place where natural and the supernatural collide, making it one of Sydney's most haunted and captivating locations. 8. Parramatta Cemetery, Perth, Western Australia. As Perth's largest and most historic burial ground, Parramatta Cemetery is home to over 200,000 graves. It's not just the size that makes it unsettling. This cemetery is a known hotspot for ghostly encounters and paranormal activity. One of the most disturbing stories involves a mysterious figure known as the Watcher. Visitors have reported seeing this shadowy presence near the graves of children, often described as a tall, dark figure that seems to vanish as soon as it's noticed. Some believe the Watcher is a guardian spirit, while others feel it's something much darker. Other eerie experiences include the sound of children's laughter echoing through the cemetery, despite no children being present. Cold spots, flickering lights, and the sensation of being watched are common occurrences, especially in the older sections of the graveyard. Paranormal investigators have recorded unexplained voices and sudden temperature drops, adding to the mystery. Parramatta Cemetery is a place where history and the supernatural intertwine, and its unsettling atmosphere, visitors wondering if they truly left the land of the living. Montreal Cemetery, Tasmania, Island for Dead. Port Arthur is one of the most notorious convict settlements in Australian history. in horrific circumstances. Visitors to the island then report overwhelming feelings of sorrow, as if the very air is heavy with the suffering of those buried here. Ghost sightings are common, with many claiming to see shadowy figures wandering the grounds at night, disappearing into the fog. One of the most famous apparitions is that of a convict who was hanged and buried without ceremony. His ghost is said to roam the cemetery, forever restless. Ghost tours of the cemetery often result in strange encounters, from disembodied voices to the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. Paranormal investigators have captured eerie photos and audio recordings that suggest some unfortunate mysterious today. With its dark history and isolated location, the cemetery remains one of Australia's most haunted places. In Melbourne General Cemetery, Melbourne, Victoria. Melbourne General Cemetery is not only one of the city's most historic landmarks, but also one of its most haunted. Established in 1853, this vast burial ground is the final resting place of many prominent figures, including ministers and artists. But it's the ghosts of ordinary citizens who make their presence felt the most. One of the cemetery's most famous hauntings involves a creepy mother who sits spotted in the grave of the child. Dressed in black mourning attire from the Victorian era, she appears to be people and all of the veterans and brothers. Witnesses describe feeling a sense of sadness in her presence, as if her sorrow transcends the grave. Other visitors report hearing strange whispers and seeing glowing orbs floating above the grave's impact. Paranormal investigators have conducted numerous studies here and often report unexplainable scenarios in Alabama, Victoria. Buried deep in the heart of Victoria's gold fields, the Ararat, the Pacific Asylum Cemetery, holds within the views of hundreds of former patients dying with the walls of one of Australia's most notorious asylums. Many of the graves here, and it's said that the spirits of these forgotten children still haunt the area. One of the most widespread stories involves the apparition of a former patient who was buried in the graves. Witnesses describe seeing a ghostly figure wandering aimlessly through the cemetery, often appearing confused and disoriented. Paranormal investigators have captured strange audio recordings near the graves, including whispers and unexplained presence. The atmosphere here is heavy with sorrow and regret, and many visitors report feeling sensitive to walk through the grave. The spirits of the patients who were mistreated during their time at the asylum are said to still linger, searching for things they never found in life. The Ararat Lunatic Asylum Cemetery is a place of both historical significance and unsettling happiness. 12. Waverley Cemetery, Sydney, New South Wales. Situated on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean, Waverley Cemetery offers one of the most breathtaking views in Sydney. But don't let the movie fool you. This cemetery is known for its hauntings, particularly those of the ghostly woman who's been seen wandering. Welcome to our spine-chilling journey through Australia's most haunted school. From abandoned classrooms to eerie playgrounds, these historic sites are shrouded in mystery and ghostly legends. Join us as we uncover the terrifying tales and paranormal encounters that linger in the shadows of these forgotten institutions. Are you ready to explore the dark history and ghostly presences that haunt these school grounds? Let's begin. 1. Old Bluebird Public School, New South Wales. The old Bluebird Public School stands forgotten, a relic of a time long past. Its windows are dark, shattered, and lifeless, yet locals swear that something, or someone, still roams the abandoned corridors. The wind carries whispers from unseen mouths, and a cold, unnatural chill through the crumbling brick walls. Many twists and shadowy figures darted through the empty classrooms, their faces twisted and torn up. One story in particular sent shivers down the spine. The ghost of a headmaster, into the state of strict discipline, is said to haunt the halls. His footsteps echo the floors, heavy and deliberate. Even though the building has long since been silent, his figure appears in fleeting glances. A tall man, his face obscured, staring with a burning intensity from the shadows. children's laughter, long gone, occasionally pierces the air, chilling those who dare to linger. They say if you enter at night, you may hear the soft creak of a chair, as though someone or something is sitting and waiting. What are the Nestled is a once thriving bird town of Gulf Coast. The primary school has stood empty for decades. The town itself looks like a ghost. Its few remaining buildings scattered among overgrown forests and forgotten rivers. But it is the school that harbors the darkest tale. Locals speak of a tragedy, a fire that claimed the lives of several students long ago. Since then, strange things have been reported. At dusk, eerie, flickering lights can be seen in the windows, as if the flames that once ravaged the building still burn in the spirit realm. Visitors to the site have heard faint, terrified cries, to escape the blaze. Some say the spirits of those students are fast, forever reliving their final moments. A few brave souls ventured inside, swear they felt the intensity of invisible flames, despite the cold air surrounding them. The scent of smoke rises and falls in this listen closely and hear the footsteps of children moving, but they never move. Right on the public school, New South Wales. Perched on the edge of a dense forest, the abandoned Montreal public school hides behind vines and neglect. It's here, they say, that a young girl met a mysterious and untimely death. Her name was Emily, and her spirit has never left us. Visitors report seeing a small, pale figure standing by the window of the old classroom, staring out into the distance as if waiting for someone. But when approached, she vanishes. Some say they've heard the soft sound of her sobbing, while others have felt a cold hand brush against their skin in the empty halls. The most unsettling tales come from those who enter the school after dark. They describe the overwhelming feeling of being watched, and some have even heard a child's voice whispering their names. The school bell, rusted and broken, sometimes rings in the dead of night, despite no wind or human hand to move it. Emily, it seems, is still waiting, perhaps for a relief that will never come. 4. Old Fremantle School for Boys, Western Australia. Fremantle School for Boys has long been abandoned, but it's far from empty. The building in the east, its once grand architecture now crumbling through covered in ivy. Inside, the air is thick with the feeling of unseen once it knew everything. The chosen stories here revolve around the headmaster, a cruel man who enforced discipline with an iron fist. His presence is said to linger in the school, his stern figure occasionally seen pacing the halls, and those filled overseeing the students. But the boys too never remain. Phantom figures dressed in tattered uniforms have been spotted darting around yards, their faces pale and frightened. Some say you can hear the scraping of chalk against the blackboard, the sound coming from an empty classroom. Doors slam shut on their own, and the sound of footsteps echoes through the halls, though no one's there. The headmaster's office remains locked, but every now and then people report seeing a faint glow from within, as if the man is still hard at work, punishing those who disobeyed him. 5. Castlemaine School of Mines, Victoria. The Castlemaine School of Mines once buzzed with the energy of young students learning the art of mining and engineering. Now, it's a crumbling relic of a bygone era. Its corridor is silent, yet somehow not quite empty. The locals speak of strange occurrences, lights flickering in rooms that haven't been powered in years, trees sitting on their own, and the ghostly figures of former students wandering the grounds. But it is the workshop that holds the darkest presence. Several students are said to have died here in tragic accidents, their restless spirits still tied to the place where they met their end. Late at night, people have heard the metallic clinking of tools being used, despite the workshop being locked and deserted. Apparitions of young men, covered in dust and soot, never be seen moving through the halls, their faces solemn and hollow. The most chilling story comes from those who have entered the workshop after dark, only to hear the grinding sound of machinery starting up, yet the power has long been cut off. 6. Old North Coast High School, Victoria. The Old North Coast High School stands in eerie silence, its weathered facade hiding secrets from a darker time. Closed for decades, it has become a place whispered about in fear. On misty nights, some claim to see the silhouette of a student standing by the windows of the second floor classrooms, though the building has long been sealed. Inside, the air is thick with an oppressive weight, as if the walls themselves remember the fear and shame that once lingered here. Footsteps echoing, noted, slow, deliberate, despite no living person walking in. Some visitors have reported a figure of a teacher dressed in a black gown, her face pale, expressionless, who appears without warning to disappear around the corner. Strange symbols scratched into desks and walls seem to pulse with malevolent energy. Locals speak of students who once attended the school but never left, trapped forever in the maze of classrooms and halls, their faint whispers still calling out, searching for a way to escape the torment of the past. Rockhampton Grammar School. Queensland Rockhampton Grammar School, though mostly in use today, harbors an abandoned building where street air shroud. This section of the school has been sealed off for years, but it's said to be haunted by the spirits of both students and staff. A tragic accident decades ago left an indelible mark, and since then, strange occurrences have plagued the empty halls. Those who dare to enter report the sound of distant echoing voices, students perhaps laughing one moment and crying the next. In the dim light of twilight, shadows come from their shoulders, flickering against the walls as if figures are running just out of sight. One posted teacher in particular is said to patrol the corridors, his stern face twisted in a crimson pain. Some visitors have felt a cold hand grip their shoulders, almost to turn and try to run away. The unsettling sense of being watched never fades, and many believe that those who died here still walk the halls back from the school for eternity. Distraught. John's Orphanage School in New South Wales. The ruins of St. John's Orphanage School are draped in a shroud of misery and fear. Once part of a larger orphanage, the school is infamous for its dark history of mistreatment running through the overgrown playground, their faces contorted in fear, while others speak of a malevolent presence, a former headmistress who rules the afterlife with the same cruelty displayed in lives. The sound of a ruler striking a desk is often heard, followed by the quiet sobbing of invisible children. Those who dare venture inside at night claim to hear the faint shuffling of feet. The sound of school lessons still taking place as though time is frozen in this haunted, sorrow-filled space. Old Brisbane Grammar School, Queensland. At Old Brisbane Grammar School, the abandoned classrooms seem to breathe with their own life long after the students have left. The school, a grand building in its day, is now a shadow of its former self. Despite its closure, many have heard the unmistakable sound of a teacher's voice drifting through the halls, giving lessons to a class that no longer exists. Apparitions of boys in old-fashioned school uniforms are sometimes seen sitting at desks, their heads bowed in silent study. But it is the library that is the most unsettling. Shelves that haven't been touched in years, sometimes holding those steadily from their boards. The ghost of a librarian is said to haunt the eyes. Her presence felt as a cold breeze that brushes past visitors. Late at night, the creaking of doors and the sound of chalk scratching on blackboards can be heard echoing. It's as if the spirits of former students are trapped here, endlessly repeating the lessons of the past. Long Reach School of the Air, Queensland. Long Reach School of the Air, once a place of education for children in remote areas, now lies and forgotten. But something still lingered. The school was a hub of communication, connecting students via radio waves across vast distances. And now those very airwaves seem to carry ghostly voices. Visitors to the abandoned building have reported hearing the crackle of static, followed by faint, garbled messages that sound like the voices of teachers long gone. But the most chilling reports come from those who have stayed after dark, hearing the voice of a teacher, her words calm and clear, delivering lessons as if time had not moved on. The rooms, filled with outdated technology, seem frozen in time, and there are accounts of old radios turning on by themselves, broadcasting lessons from the other side. Some say the teacher who haunts the school was deeply dedicated, so much so that even in death she continues her work, teaching ghostly students who still listen from the beyond. 11. Coronella Primary School. Victoria Coronella Primary School, now abandoned and overtaken by the elements, is a place of unease and fear. The building, surrounded by dense bushland, feels isolated from the world, as if it has been forgotten by time. But the spirits within are far from silent. Visitors report hearing the soft hum of children's voices in the distance, though no one can see. Inside, the air is thick with the sensation of being lost. Classrooms still hold chalkboard covered in faint writing, but it's what people see in the reflection of the dusty windows that truly terrifies them. Figures of children standing behind them, their eyes wide and unblinking. The bell, rusted and motionless, sometimes tolls without warning, a signal that class has begun for those on the other side. Shadows dart across the playground, where no living child is playing in years. Many believe the spirits of former students are still here, trapped in an eternal reset, unable to leave the school that was once their only world. 12. Old Westwood Second School in South Bay. In the overgrown and forgotten corners of Glenbrook lies the old Glenbrook Second School, a place that nature has slowly begun to reclaim, but whose haunted past refuses to be buried. The buildings, though crumbling and overtaken by vines, still stand, and with it, the chilling chaos of a restless presence. Visitors often speak of strange lights flickering in windows, despite the school having been without power for decades. The air here feels heavy, as if the school itself is holding its breath, waiting for something, or someone. The most chilling stories come from those who have dared to enter at night. A cold draft follows them, no matter the season, and many claim to hear the faint sound of a school bell ringing. It's said that the spirit of a young teacher still haunts the grounds, her footsteps heard pacing the classroom, as if stepping on students in the future. Some have seen her standing by the blackboards, writing lessons so no one will read. If you stay too long instead, you might hear her whisper your name, as though calling you to join her eternal class. Beechwood Primary School, Victoria. Nestled in the ghost town of Beechwood, the Beechwood Primary School stands as a silent witness to a bygone era. But silence is not the only thing that lingers here. The school, though abandoned, is said to be haunted by the spirits of students who never left. Many visitors report hearing the unmistakable sound of children's laughter echoing through the empty halls, though the building has been deserted for years. But the laughter is fleeting, often turning to sob that seems to come from the very walls themselves. Those who have ventured inside speak of the strange feeling of being watched, and some have seen ghostly figures of children in old-fashioned uniforms standing at the windows, staring out with blank, hollow eyes. The most terrifying encounters happen in the old playground. The rusted swings sometimes of their own, as if invisible children are still playing. Scriptures.
Pretty nice show. Okay, fast.
Underpaid for last score on top line now. He earned it. He's played with Seth Johnson. He's playing so fucking well. Oh shit. Come on, bro. I just put you on that top 9. Now you get hurt. That's bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Selector Bag, home is of life. This Selector Bag includes some of the most iconic future monsters in ever touched the game, your masculine. And this is because Yukimoto and Joey Weaver are officially back. This brand new Selector Bag introduces the new Yukimoto Shining Sarcophagus Archetype in today's Your Matthew video. I'll be covering everything you guys to know about this brand new the deck breakdown, the card by card breakdown. Number 3, I know you guys certified problem you guys must know when it comes to piloting this deck right here. You might have to know when you split them off with the master rank. Just hope you guys for what you can do without Rivero. Let's get it without further ado. Now the guys rolling in time. Welcome to Video Master Archive, where we dive into the decks and the strategies. Today, we spotlight the brand new Shining Sarcophagus Archetype. This month's Selector Bag inspired by Yuki's legendary cards. Get ready, duelists! This deck packs a punch. Fun fact! No, Shining Sarcophagus are weekly counterparts, cards used by Yukimoto during his duels without Yami Yuri in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga and Blues News. So, what's the Shining Sarcophagus all about? This deck is centered around keeping Shining Sarcophagus on the field, which supercharges your monsters with abilities. With this setup, each party in your hand becomes a powerful tool for motivation. Let's meet the monsters. First, we got Gadget Trio. This card right here is very simple suggestion. Finds your Shining Sarcophagus or any small trap card that mentions it. And next, we got Silent Solution Zero. This card gets targeted effectively in your Shining Sarcophagus 6. Next, we got Silent Solution Zero. This card can be used all decks while Shining Sarcophagus is up on the field. Or Montreal. This card right here is the ultimate defense performance. If you more Montreal was defeated, Archie has it. This card has a change of heart-like abilities. Dark Magician, in addition to Black Magic, follow summon themselves with Shining Sarcophagus on the field and touch up the Dark Magician's stolen traps. And our main boss monster, Gendora Juice, the Dragon of Destruction, one of the more prudent in summoning any Shining Sarcophagus monster with the deck. Now let's just go and grab you guys Shining Sarcophagus. This card allows you to add each Shining Sarcophagus card except for itself directly from the deck to the hand. Keep your silence. This card will search for Shining Sarcophagus monsters. Opening your deck to be able to search your Shining Sarcophagus. Next to left hides that line. You'll have some more Shining Sarcophagus monsters directly from your deck, while it turns silence into a powerful interruption against your opponent. Last but not least, we got Dark Magic Mirror Force and Stronghold Hidden Fortress, which gives you additional layers of defense. Your goal: take control of the battlefield with these powerhouse monsters and unleash Gendora to send your opponent something scattering. This strategy thrives without relying on graveyard. Synonym cards like Deep Fissure, Macrocosmos, and Dimensional Shifter are great additions to the deck to counter the masterful meta. Ladies and gents, that was a little glimpse on what Shining Sarcophagus is all about. Now let's move on to the card by card breakdown. Guys, the deck breakdown keeps getting better and better. Be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. But before we begin with this card by card breakdown, this video is brought to you by Whatnot. Ladies and gents, your boy is back on Whatnot, and I got you guys something special. You guys ready? I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Yeah, guys, this right here is $52 for the new Whatnot team and I. Ladies and gents, by signing up for Whatnot, using my link, the top link, in the description box below, Whatnot will literally give you $80 on your account for absolutely free for the first time you sign up. So guys, bring a $1 account right now and get $15 on your boy. And you guys need this $15 to spend on whatever you guys want on Whatnot. Whatnot is an amazing platform where you guys can buy, sell, auction, literally anything you want. You guys can literally find what your heart desires on Whatnot, and make sure to use this $50 to buy whatever you guys want on Whatnot. No cap, no gimmicks. And from November 7th to the 10th, the Whatnot Card Show will be happening. The Whatnot Card Show brings over 2,500 sports and TCG sellers, making it the largest gathering for all hockey enthusiasts. And this is all accessible at the comfort of your very own home. And great news, because on November 9th at 12 p.m. EST, I'm going to be live for the Whatnot Card Show. So guys, you see my show right there? Yes, go ahead and bookmark it. On Saturday, we're going to be doing quarter-century bonanza openings and bundles. And on top of that, I'll do some awesome giveaways. You guys want some Ulos? You guys want some Dominus Impulse? You guys want some meta cards? You guys want some free packs? I got you. It's going to be an absolute blast. And most importantly, guys, be sure to sign up and get $50. Literally no cap, like a mining cap. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow for the auction and also the free giveaway. Yo, let's go over the card by card breakdown. All right, ladies and gents, here we go. Here is my Shining Sarcophagus deck. This deck right here is absolutely insane. The only thing that I want to get out of the way before we, continue with the deck profile is that we're missing one thing, and one thing only. His name is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Ladies and gents, when is Dragoon going to come in Master Duel? I do not know, ladies and gents, but I really hope that card comes here soon and it gets unbanned, because, Dragoon would just bring a whole another dimension to the deck. Basically, this deck revolves around one card, which is Shining Sarcophagus. You guys saw in the deck breakdown series right there. And what you're trying to do is that, you want to use Shining Star to get access to, of course, Gadget Trio. Gadget Trio searches Secret Silence. Secret Silence searches, of course, your Ghidorah. And then use your Ghidorah to basically blow up the entire board, to bring out more Shining Sarcophagus monsters directly from the deck, which is absolutely amazing. So this card is a targeting negate. This card right here is a spell negate. This card right here floats into a stronghold. Okay, this stronghold right here that just came out of the new selection pack, but I'm not playing this card in this deck because I feel like it's a brick, and I'm already playing a brick, which is of course Death of Rival. Right here, I do Death of Rival, which is like a better brick. So I think it's essentially it's still good for your opponent's turn. How we absolutely need to be there. Wondering that do I have a card condition? Well, this card right here is 3 has dark condition off on the field. And what you're trying to do is that trying to go up against the dark condition, and you use Secret Silence to search your Ghidorah. Something can go up through the dark condition. And when this card is blown up, it comes back and sets the Death of Rival, which is absolutely amazing. So that's what you're trying to do with this deck right here. Trying to fight for resources with low amount of cards as much as possible, getting access to more resources with
Seven games ever struggling to start the season. Here's Konecny to get things started for the Flyers. They go to work down low. Konecny is an energy player, and that energy is infectious.
Let's see a second unit here for Kucherov, though. Rarely gets off the ice when there's a man advantage.
Kucherov, center play, he took it from Gigi. Worked out his touch. That's Kucherov trying to set another goal.
That was not a great power play for the Lightning, but this one chance almost makes it seem like they can generate some offense. What a beautiful set from Kucherov. He finds the own player in Connor Gigi. He can take one extra second and allows Minot off that big 6'7" frame.
With the draw. Drive down, draw. One-time drive. Save Vasilevsky. Leading into all the center. Barabin tries to try out Cernak. Racing for a Kucherov. Feet to the puck. On center line. It's on the stick of Hendrick. And all the way down is Barabin with the game. I'm going to get the best chance so far.
Their best chance so far. Barabin comes in and Cernak sort of loses it, but Barabin gets his shot off it.
Takes down the goal line. Holland will play the opening period. Back around top. Get out of here by Littleburg. And now, moving through center. Smoothly of Kucherov. Kucherov to his left. Kucherov circles the net.
There, it's really all hands on deck. You can't let somebody like that skate through the whole game.
Dedicated Kucherov to Sam Reinhart. This is almost a power play now for the Flyers. A drop for center. He will give it away from Gensel. So there's ball on and now ball to Brink. Brink walks it in. Brink.
He stays down for some time and he hops up.
Counts to the near side. And Savon. Playing one down deep. Breaks two. Second Vasilevsky. The rebound rolls over. The stick played every shot. Stays tied up. Working his perfect solution for the puck and top three. It's Van Igor Salova. Gets it out to the neutral zone. Perfect hit with sprint. Across Rackets every sprint to his right. Kicks the pad out to blow away from Isolov. 4 minutes gone by in the second period. And it's been an action-packed 4 minutes. Probably more activity in these 4 minutes than we had any 4 minutes spent in the first period.
Yeah, the first period started really sloppy for both the penalty and puck. A lot of chicken shooting. Now this is certainly more urgency for both teams.
Tried it. I lost it. Turnover. The ball settles it down. Midway through the second period. Early back across. Nice pivot and a stop. And fine. Save Vasilevsky. The setup again for Barabin. Fresh pass again for Barabin. He waits. Barabin missed. Got mad at me. Off of the stick. Vasilevsky. Barabin right between the dots. Sat down with the that shot again. Hits the post. And now looking for it on the edge of the crease. Covering up with Vasilevsky. It's 40 seconds of man advantage time left for the Flyers. They're just trying to get set up in the offensive zone. Now Forster is higher, but they still gain the zone. Bobby Brink sets it behind the net. Already there. Second pass. Forster saves it back to Selecki. And it's sent to the right wing half wall. Ranheim carries it deep. Puts it behind. Barabin checked by McDonough. It's off to Melandre. Controlled again by Barabin. Barabin centers one out in front. Selecki makes the same.
It's anticipation too. He knows what's going on in front. He sees, tracks that puck, comes out, and then there's no second chance.
How valuable would that type of a player be for a team on the penalty kill? Their special teams. Here's a take. Wood on any of those guys.
Yeah, the best chance there. I mean, they had some good puck movement, but how about that shorthanded chance by Cage coming in and Vasilevsky tracks him the whole way, shuts it down, and in their losses in the third period, they've gone in either tied or down by one, like in St. Louis, and they've given up their leads or their ties in the third period. So they really have to buckle down. It's a mental game.
Aaron's for the far glass.
Backed out, but Chafee can't clear the zone. Between the legs, Kazurian with a drop pass backed out on the outside of the post. Chance there for Tippett.
Saved by Fedotov, and then Vasilevsky up to the challenge.
Chafee holds. Chafee out to Moser. Thought about a long wrister. Draws one, makes it off the end boards. Hagel wraps around front. So, keeps it out of the cage. And protects the puck in the blue.
To Kucherov early, he's able to stretch his long frame post to post. Watch how strong he is as Hagel.
It's this description of the forward as well. Here it is. Hagel found the beautiful perfect. Pulls up the fight. It's strong. I hate it. Vasilevsky. Finally, Philadelphia. Finds an answer for Vasilevsky.
Shot off of his brave field. It's that struggle of blood. Trying to find an emotional or maybe it's intercepted by Philadelphia. They get off to the races, and it's Owen Tippett, third goal of the season. This is somebody that John Tortorella has said he's got to get going.
Kucherov instead. His back blocked back towards Hedman. That shot trapped in front by Sheila. Played it with his hands. Perfect. Can't keep it outside. Second skate pulled in with overtime. In their last 4 third periods, 10-4. Including 1-0 tonight. So overtime begins. Emma has the puck. Hagel moves in. Hagel with the slot. She's in the top. Task it right away. Hagel back close to winning.
Trying to go forward on the draw. Instead, that puts him in a little bit on his field situation, and Hagel moves it, and it's close to the front, and Fedotov saves and covers. He doesn't see how the personnel see it.
Off to the net. San Jose shoots that block by Hedman. Back the other way. That's canceled. He sees Kucherov with some speed.
Right following this up with a beautiful pass from Gensel over to Kucherov, who, as you mentioned, Bobby, seems to slow things down. And
then here, across the lines. Cirelli in the high slot. Cirelli wrister. Save it. And he's able to glove it as Ryan McDonough just couldn't get much on.
And then have the opportunity to close it. And how about this? A little bit of a pass from McDonough. It's so
5 seconds to go. And it looks like we might be heading to a shootout here at Tampa Bay. And Emily Arena, overtime. Not enough to decide a 1-1 tie between the Flyers and Lightning. So we will need a shootout. They're going to set out Gonzalez first. Okay, Gonzalez will move in for the first opportunity of the shootout. Save Fedotov. Trying to go 5 holes. He shut the door.
Tampa, but here he comes in, tries to change the angle, and then trying to, as you said, try to do a 5 hole. Now it's easy takes it for Fedotov.
That's 3 goals and 16 tries. Get the shootout for the forehands. They give the Flyers the shootout lead.
Coming in off any goal and then just holds it up and just takes it over. Vasilevsky's glove. Vasilevsky was so frustrated that pass that he was. His glove goes up and throws it right into the puck zone.
Pretty. Makes it like a smooth as they go. Trying to go oddball, but not the stick in the left.
And I don't think either of the shooters so far has made it move very much. He's tracking as he comes across, down in his butterfly.
Tip contact on the skin.
For the they've got Owen Tippett. He gets the time between the third. Never before scored a shootout goal, but he picks a great time to score with here. Andre Vasilevsky, both the goals scored on the matchup team's left side. Tough one for Tampa Bay as they go into a 6-3 right now. Coming at a great time with some of the injuries that they have, but a tough pill to swallow and smiles all around for Philly. Tough pressure for them. Lost to Carolina, they had it to the last minute, and then a big shootout win here, and then they head down to Florida to take on the Panthers. We are not alone. Can you keep it secret? Cause you never know.
now, after just 2 games in the last 11 days, global series behind him. It's all eyes forward, starting tonight versus Chicago. Puck is dropped. We are underway back here at American Airlines Center. 12 nights to be exact that the Stars are hosting the Hawks. It's the second time that the Hawks were in action the night before home in Chicago. Okay, there's up now, Dirk. Davis. Arlie, Delaney. Trying to go back to Davis. Don't see back. Arlie goes to that. With the Hawk logo right on his chest. He steals. Opens the door to the stadium. And just played it up. To keep it up. Jump on back again. Hitting shot. Glove. Body slammer. Sam delays. Jump up. The outlet feeds out. He serves the sticks to no exit. Ryan Johnson canceled by Murphy. Center out. There's a quick get away to get it. Johnson stick going. Penalty coming against Chicago. Stars get the extra attacker out there with Archer on the ring. First penalty of the game will go against the Blackhawks. Unless the Stars can do something with a half-dozen skaters they have right now. Handoff Stankin and neutral ice. Now it's Stan going in. Throws to the forehand, finds Lundqvist. They'll feed it for Robertson, back for Lundqvist. Half circle Stankoven. Feeds it low on the end line. Upstairs there's Lundqvist. Fire saved by Soderblom. Touched by Chicago. Back for Harley. Long defenseman on this grouping. Harley put it off the pads of Soderblom. Soderblom in over to the right wing side. They are just about through this one here now. The Hawks had a lot of power play goals, 7 straight games. Just a sail on each of those before setting down Detroit last night. You can see some guys trying to get a little more into the situation where they probably should. Just a moment ago. Soderblom on the doorstep. And gets it back. High up along the wall. Captain don't believe it once more. Lundqvist going to win the ring. John Soderblom makes the save. John starting to open up. Now could be a 2-on-1 with the Captain of quick stand. He's got it. Great finishes here. People are feeling for the first. Watch this game right now. It's the Stars who get the breakthrough. And they come out of the way. Expect to get a stretch up and in front of the board. Down on the near side, Taylor off. Moving across. Going with the wrister. On the wide turn, comes back to the near wing. Brody wide. Fires on the score. But the side is bad for that too. Brody for Caroline. Into the Stars going. Jump up. Able to get it down. Here's first. And get to the net. They're in the city. Stars on the back. For 2 boxes. Already 16-5. He got advantage for the Stars. And Harvey from the red line. So the 2-1 Tokens gets it down into the corner. And the Hall at it. Goes back for Lundqvist. He didn't clear. But Stokes. Stars. They're continuing. Going to the side. Soderblom will hang. And oxygen mask is needed on the Chicago bench. Over Lundqvist. Stars are in. Neils Lundqvist. Against worked by Jones. There's a penalty coming against the Hawks. Back for Bean. Score. Sing again. Somehow to the window. Singing it down. Well, at first you're wondering, did they squander a wonderful scoring opportunity on the right? They drew the ball and then Wisco finished the side to the fight. He's going to nail it right now. He's the first guy on the end here this morning, going through his shooting streak, sort of taking that over for Pavelski. And he finished this one off the percentage. Already up to 10 points. He had points in all but one game he's played. Donato, hits the nothing lead cut in half, though. Jake had some problems with the initial rib in. And then after that, it was a goal over. And every guy, that was some pretty good ball. And a little bit of hits in the crease along with Jake Patrick stairs on from distance. But they came back up. They're not all 5 holes. They have been staying close. Things went into pads. 2 good chances for Big Classic. All of them denied. The Stars got all rookie though. After a while, it was like Samuel keeps it moving to himself. Fucking Jack Brooks and wrap around. Lakeland goes off over the save. What a pass from the wall and Soder will make the save. A moment ago, there's that stick fight. Sammy wins the puck, little reverse. Then he pops out into a position out in front to fight the it's taking something all over again with these Hawks here. This was the situation before they went to Finland. Hawks had played the night before. Stars had a 2-0 lead and second and a minute going into the third. Already 6 minutes have come and gone here in the third period. Brett Smith with speed, right side and gun save. And the Stars found in the crease. Collected at times in the game. Rebound gets away from a Messiah, but I think it was the guy who came in and missed this absolutely spectacular save on a delicious looking rebound. And then it gets swamped in behind, Lickard and Reuters, and got cleaned up. That is all what Donato is having. What a specific run here on home ice depth. And T. Buncher did not. It's all stayed with the bear. With the Babushkin was playing around, not out. Donato was away to keep life going. And to the near side. Stars unable to clear it. It's Donato. Vincent awaiting it. Majority. Score for Tucci. He was at the top of the crease. Majority is in there. And the inside which shows it is a window to the goal for potential fix this a 1-1 on Donato. Stars trying to get it out along the boards. He gets tucked under, spins around. He keeps over his shoulder. Knew where he could feed that to, and for Tucci scores his kind of goal. Where he scored that one. Left of the crease. Just jumps and basically just turns the body. Took him a long time. Getting for stopping everything, even seeing even some that he wasn't. And in front of Spanish, penalty coming. Soder blew down and out, made that save with the left hand. The late call against Chicago. Oh, Dallas almost got loose. That's the shit you want, right? After giving up the power play goal, but the hunt for the youngsters down in behind the ice line to get back out in front. Jimmy calls for it, and it gets stalled by the left leg of Soderblom. And it's her first pitch. Trying for an equalizer. The Stars trying to hang up the return home. And we'll go up the line. Oh, gets it back from the guy. Lose it. On the doorstep. Otherwise, I think they capitalize on that one. Other end, scramble inside. Jimmy. Under Smith to go here in Dallas. Stars hanging on to a 2-1 lead. Tonight, spent some hungry work down low. I think Logan Stangle score on his back end. He played well enough to get one here, but he certainly played well enough to get a victory. He and the Stars will get their latest here on home ice. Franchise record for 6 straight home games. The Stars Johansson goes by. Now Garrett Sturgeon on top. That's longer away by Jack Vannigan. Really, in all honesty, and he talked about it after the game, he looked like a player who hadn't played in about 3 weeks. I would expect the timing to be much better for some of the tonight. Vannigan, you might want to allow less than 50 shots on goal through 3 periods of the shots as well. Back to Dozier. From the point. Martin police on the deck, and at 1-0 goes so. I think that goes on to Will Smith. Will Smith has got his face joined to the net. It bounces off the by the stick. Marcelino go to the net. So Smith has got it there as it starts to roll in. And let's have a look at it one more time. It's either Polino or Smith. Good job going to the net. Yeah, it goes. Yeah, unfortunately, that breaks to the chest. Will Smith feels what he's supposed to be doing. He is the right position. Stumbled just a little bit, but unfortunately, we're going to go off the shoot. They'll go to the header. There's a big motion grip. But for the first game of the dark Colby, off the turnover, they'll fire it. Vannigan makes the save as best they can. Keep it away. Number 29 in there. They're not going to get out very well. They're athletic goalkeeper. So skates very well. Got this in the way they play. This is what they're going to do. And Burbank, Johansson is gone. And sitting there by Ben Jensen, now holding behind it. I'm just going to get ripped over the center. Chaps get back on the second priority. Toronto. Good shot by Goodwin. Jumps down, trying to lock it down for Eric for that. The girl holds it into the skate down there. He gets the ball on the street in front as well. The player, he gets hit up all the way. You'll understand in front. He gets the deflection. Mother and grandfather, and these are amongst the sweetest people here. They are the most silent people. Fire back and forth. Gil to that town. Gil hits us back down. Hands it off to Hartman. Erickson scores. Joel Erickson adds to the bench on the play. Gets in again. Out goes right back up the middle. Taken over by the Minnesota Wild. It's hard with a turnover that quick to be able to counter. I know I'm saying it's supposed to be. Oh, that's close. It's close. So it's hard on the right side. It's very, very close. It's one. I think this is worth the challenge. Better look at Hart, number 14, right in the middle. Oh, I think that's awesome. That's Erickson. Oh, no, 14. Oh, yes. Yeah, Erickson has got to score the goal, so he is offside. Well, look very close to me. He's been out for them. Good. Fantastic pass for Fernando Walker. His second. But he did catch. Marty for third. 12. It's the push over. It's touched the most of the first back. Look at the center. It's right to the net. It's going to the net. But it gets in. Just makes over the but the start three is look at how he finds the overlay. So he's on that. So it's something to go. Again. Oh, the clock's basically right down the middle. The Randall celebrating. What do you see? He's down the briefs off. Protecting, holding, floating hits from Luda. Good girl. Up on his Spurgeon shot. We got rebound. The briefs off shot. He'll get back to the explode. Super goal. Quick play by your briefs off. And it's 2-1 Minnesota. See what happens when one turnover in the
into the zone, and then your group gets tired, and the top line gets out of the ice, and they just get all over the San Jose Sharks. And the Sharks coaching staff is not happy about that. Terrific no-look pass. Zuccarello gets to the net. Harvick will tries to get there, but he's been out there too long because of the turnover, because of the escape pressure. What they do is they get to the vortex first. They get to good third man. They go back, even deep. They'll switch up top, but look at Harvick all by himself in front. It's a shot on net. It's a just, if you get that inside the 60,
Here's if it was close. Who the heck that bad?
Nice cross. Sure. It goes square. That's what that's when sound line there. 7 out. So Cody one and up on the line. So Cody won't score.
Look hit to the far side. Kaprizov up shot for Matt Zuccarello. Kaprizov and Goldie.
Oh no, fuck on.
Pains of their Goldie looks to
Steps the power play, drops to the one. And they lead 3-1. If you get behind the net right there, you see that as the play behind the net creates decisions for the penalty kills. It expands the ice. You try to stick the ice if you're on the penalty kill. That move behind the net opens up the ice. You've got to go from one side to the other, opens up opportunities up top or in the middle. And then Boldy walks in and once again, really kicking it front.
They are top 10 5-on-5 so far in the NHL this year. And defensively, they're the best 5-on-5 team in the NHL.
So, got the puck more times than the opposition. Very sensible defensive zone. So, and that does really have becoming, able to get back.
Oh, they need to break their fucking comeback.
So does the stinky team will be this year. They have not lost. The third and the free shot to 9-5. Then
Watch this play. Checks the puck, goes 10-10, goes between the legs with a shot on the net. There's not even 10-2, that's quarter to 3. He gets his jumps point in the opposite direction, and then takes the puck, and then goes, boom. That's so good, it should be a football. Look at that play.
driving simultaneously. The free shot hanging just to the puck. Not overload that corner. What's still left under the just fire and score. It hits something in one up top corner. And it's 4-1.
It gets thrown over the boards, and the Sharks do not win this competition on the boards. Our second English defensive zone forward play. Not once, but twice. And then the shot as Rossi tries to block it. Good shot. Yeah, moves right off the Rossi. Trying to block it. I guess it's a big boy.
Trying to land this with the Sharks after every club. And now it's blocked. Little bit like the body. Here's Hartman again. Out of the right, the second shot. Saved by Benson. Chance shot. The third shot. Give himself a takes it. This is a team that, like the one, Minnesota broke forth being through this. Has not found a way to win it all. The one is Donald. And we have the second fourth. Here's a shot by the and then he's gone.
Celebrating afterwards. Well, this is a fairly innocent looking play, but the entry into the zone is key. And this is just back with the home of the zone.
Oh my god, that's a huge swipe with Jackson right there.
And only in score. And that should have put a cap on it. It's 5-2. Redmond's got it. He pushes it out to the middle. There's nobody there but white jerseys. And away Bowley goes. And it's the first side of Redmond team like that team takes on a team is able to extend the back of the line. But they're right. Very good. They're sort of wild team. It's like they're pushing the better team on.
Here's to mixing freely. Absolute for to mix.
Welcome back. Alright, this is the main video on how you find people on the internet for your Wednesday, November the 6th. Starting at the top of the board with the Edmonton Oilers, Connor McDavid. He returns tonight for the Edmonton Oilers against the Vegas Golden Knights. For McDavid, of course, it's a chance for him to fight the first time in a little while. And it's a chance maybe for him to get the special team straightened out and start putting some more pressure in the net. Drake Pagula and Phil have both been returned to the AHL as a result. So Edmonton gets a little bit healthier today, and it's a thanks for a fun game tonight against the Vegas Golden Knights. In Vancouver news from last night, Quinn Hughes becomes the third fastest defenseman to reach 300 assists, which means every single Avalanche fan coming out of the woodwork show actually compares that pace to do it faster. Okay. But that being said, Bobby Orr did it 346 games, Bernie Lee's 368 games, Quinn Hughes 376 games, and Paul Coffey 377 games. So he gets there one game sooner than does Paul Coffey. So it is an interesting thing that I've noticed now that if you talk about McCarter and he brings up Hughes and vice versa, can they both just be excellent defensemen and we can agree they're two of the best and we're very fortunate to watch them play hockey at this point in time? That's just kind of how I feel about it. So, yeah, what do you think about it? Dylan Holloway. So it was a scary incident last night. He had to be stretchered off. Was taken to the hospital. Word last night was to be late. Responsive. Well, today the news is even better. And that Holloway was at the rink. He didn't skate with the team today, but he hopes to play well. So he starts to talk to the net, and he's got a nice bruise where he got hit with the puck. I've already seen questions being asked about, this says, would a neck guard have helped? Should they be wearing a neck guard? I don't know that a neck guard will help with that. The neck guard is designed to help with cuts. It's cut resistant. I don't know that a puck coming at your throat. I don't know that a neck guard would necessarily cushion the impact there. It can't hurt. But at any rate, I'm glad Holloway's okay. It's a scary incident. It can happen that you feel like you're okay at the time, and then your throat kind of closes off a bit. But they got it their way good, obviously, to be back at the rink today, and he wants to play tomorrow. So definitely a worst-case scenario avoided for Holloway and the Blues, who already lost over the court in the previous game. Kapanen, who made the team as kind of a surprise for the Montreal Canadiens this year. He has been loaned to Kimra of the Swiss League. So he'll be over there for the rest of the season. They've likely given him some stuff they wanted to work on, kind of fun stuff. They've also recalled Kandada. So Kandada's been recalled. Kapanen goes over to the Swiss League, and will likely be back next season. He had a decent start to the season. Got a little more, I don't want to say invisible, but harder to notice on the ice as time went on. I'm guessing Sam will be giving him less ice time and all that. So, yeah, Kapanen gets some good experience at the NHL level. Now gets to play a bit in the Swiss League and work on what he needs to work on. Probably news when it comes to Gabriel Landeskog. And we know that Gabriel Landeskog was hurting from this knee injury, is going to be Herculean feat. And apparently there's been a setback in his return from the knee injury. Coach Bender not getting into exactly what's happened to say it's a setback. Not seen as a huge setback. He's still working through it and working to get back into action. They are hopeful that he's going to play this season. But that being said, it doesn't sound like they're putting any pressure on him, and it doesn't sound like there's a lot of expectation when it comes to when he's going to return. Of course, if you're an Avs fan, you really want Landeskog back in the lineup to get an absolute huge boost to the team, of course, having the captain back in there. But it does sound like it's still going to be a while. So the whole being that it'll, maybe after Christmas, maybe even after, but it definitely sounds like it's still going to be a while here. I have not seen enough if he plays in their next game or not. I have not heard on whether or not Gail McCarr is going to play. And you guys can decide whether it's that good news that there has been a big, bad news there has been an update, and when the update's coming out, again, right after this video goes live, would be my guess. That usually is the case that people haven't noticed. Dave Pinto. So the Ottawa Senators, who had a rough night last night, Pinto could return tomorrow against the New York Islanders for Ottawa. Dude is a possibility as well. I remember talking about Dude, I think, a couple days ago that, he's close, and he's still seen as being close. And after last night's game, Ottawa could definitely use some kind of a boost in that lineup. So getting Pinto and Dude back was huge, especially for what Pinto does for that center slot, center depth. So we'll see if they're able to play in their next game against the New York Islanders. A team that, again, here at home, is the game you should win. But in years past, this is where Ottawa would lose that game in November. And then we started talking about a slow November again. So we'll see how things go. It really feels like the season's at a turning point for the Sens right now. Well, we'll see. Matt White has been activated off bench reserves by the Caps. He will be playing for them tonight against the Nashville Predators. They sent Fiorio down to Hershey as a result too. So yeah, Matt White making a debut. I don't know if he played a game yet for Washington. So yeah, Roy being in the lineup, that's going to help the Washington team that's already through. So we'll see how the pairings work out, how the defense works with Roy in the lineup. So again, Roy in the lineup. You always got to watch because it could be Roy, it could be Watt, depends on in this case, Roy. And so yeah, hopefully he never goes to Vegas or molested instance because you'd have eventually Matt Roy and Nick Watt on the ice to try to go back and forth. I think announcers from this point, that's what will happen. But anyway, Roy expects to be in the lineup to make in Nashville. He is one of the defensemen I've been very high on until one time, and I thought is underrated. Now he's highly paid, so now he has to justify being so highly paid. Looks for a pretty good game out of him tonight. John Tortorella, going back to speaking, John Tortorella last night. After that loss against the Kings, you could see it on his face. You could see it. You could see that he was like, okay, I'll just get this to the finish line. And then they lost 2 goals in that 5 minutes. He had this look on his face of, I can't believe, yeah, this happened. So when he sat questions after the game along with connections, want to know? Yes. They're okay. Yes. Fine. Yes. So that means he shows. If you're a player, that might mean he's got pretty bad and he's ready to let us know how he feels in that moment. So yeah, not happy after that loss against Carolina. The Canes are, the Canes are a pretty good team. I get it, like you're a contending team, but Philadelphia was so close to a team getting a point last night, and they definitely need to start getting some points. And even though they're in this rebuilding process, it doesn't mean Tortorella likes losing, it doesn't mean he wants to lose, and to me that's obvious with the pressure after the game. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support as always.
Detroit 6-5-1. They've won their past 2. Dylan Larkin with the winner in both, and we're underway. The game starts with it over for Chris Tatum. The head for Mitch Marner. Who's leading the Red Wings at a 16-14 points for 60. Bucked on down and head over to pick up Patrick Kane. Get there in time, the big Anthony scoring 6-6. He's going to clear it. Knocked down the center. Kane puts it away. Larkin to the plate at this line to break. Close to the net, and taken there by Solar. Eric Singleton, and he's on touch for password. Eric Singleton is gone. About to do what is Solar. But he went through, got slumped in front by Steve Ball. like this goal, and it's a good reason to follow the play. No, he got right to this by McMahon, but I don't think enough to cause any kind of a review. That's a really good play by McMahon as he falls down, gets a little deep to the goaltender, and at the same time, he taps the puck back. Now we're going to review it. I don't think so. Really good with that. Here's one that's for low. Coming down wide. No, it's good. We played the puck in with big chance to save it on. All right, now you can be puck right about. They're having the center and just quick stall man. So they break up all the way down the score line and play over for but the play under the rock. Long shot in there for winning overtime. A lot of this winner for Detroit. Here comes Humphrey. Beats so large and deflects up in the play. When JC comes, but he has that dot corner label just a little too high. That's a new one. But it goes there on the wing here for McMahon. And that'll be held by Calvin. Down for home. Robertson with the opening goal. Running the meeting back. Big minutes. He probably said you big better. Okay, that's nice. Right to the goal. Not a good thing. Marner on the scoreboard. His third goal of the season, but it's 17th point. Picked up his own rebound. Well, I'm going to almost a replay of the goal was nullified for Toronto. A guy following the plane at the front of the net with a stick on the ice. There goes Nylander. Here comes number 16 right there. Going into 2C. They were near the bottom of the league. And they scored 3 points to the long shot. In the fourth, they quit. Up with there for Tarasenko. Behind but after a bunch of reflex. Stolarz, a good save. Sweet play there. Just a really good poker play. The play by Castro right between the legs of everybody. And again, though, Toronto's doing a great job of not giving Detroit a whole lot of time. Look how quickly they're on him. The minute he tries to do it, bang. He's up in for the rib and being knocked down. Talking about actually getting knocked down, find it right here through his leg. I know. Marner runner stops the forehand for Domi. Domi with 2 goals, complete 6 points. Let's hope he's not in for a big night. If you're a Red Wing fan, yeah, right in the mid-air, off the blade and off the post. So Marner, right place, right time. Next big rebound off the top of that goalie pad. And with a goal tonight for Marner, gives him 15 goals and 29 points. So get healthier all but on the puck. You know the biggest plus I see in that video, Trevor? On January 3rd of 92, and it's at 10. Here it is for me. Good save by Stolarz. There's that play off the left a moment ago. That's trying to play Sagan. But back to Kane. Kane looks in front of O'Reilly. Graves looking for his first power play goal this season. Here's Marcus. One shot. With 6, 9 of the year. And someone one time. She paid him, but he's making all that money. Good stuff, Dylan. The Leafs usually are boxing out the guy right in the slot area there. Larkin backs away.
There you go, out to the back butter, where there's nobody in that area, right in here. And that's where you're going to get the puck. Get a ball, and there it is. Turns around, out back here, John Tavares, got it again. Back here for Morgan Riley. Riley back with Tavares. Back for Riley. John Marner, taking the lane there by Tavares. Tavares. The puck's on his stick more than anybody else in the sweet spot of play. There it is right there. He goes down to Plunk's play. And it's like got a peek to it, but it goes right to Tavares. It feels like Larkin at the other end of the ice takes the position. He just turns around and wheels it. It hits the back of the net. Or whenever he wants to get center, it's match ready. The next one is a little bad, but it's right on the back of the game. A lot of it is about Tavares, safe pushing down, safe there, Bobby Hill. Getting a 5 in the 6-1 loss at the Buffalo last night. Well, 6 was only around the last time, just like a few weeks ago, when the Rangers conditions met the Red Wings. They won. Robertson couldn't get to it first, so they're able to keep it in for something. But it's been outstanding. And this is a great save here. He's able to find it. He'll lose the grabber, as Nick likes to call it. He'll just say, "No, I don't grip this with my bare hands." Or the blocker and just grab it, and he's got it. You know, big shot. Long leg. You're over to your bad to get a benefit there, but no. Those cigars there are 3 or 4 shots out of it. Just one good play there. That's what they're coming back. So, yeah, it was a better chance. Well, they know after they come up, it's the activator. He's done a pretty good job. Great line, Tavares, good spin down. Turn down. Get go down. He is. Here comes somebody, man. He's on the bench. Oh, somebody got it down. Second left. Those Tavares give him credit for holding it in there. Into the fifth with fire, he's in there once, trying to get off. Drops it, thinking one of his guys was there. But he actually didn't drop it as far as he wanted to. You see, he disputed on it. Jump around the heel of the stick. Yeah, Tavares easily slammed it into the open net. He's got it again, 30 seconds to go. Couldn't get it to the free line. He's got over to keep it in. Larkin, Sutters on the free. Tomorrow night with their 2-game winning streak stop. Across the globe, there are schools that stand abandoned, where the walls hold more than just memories. These decaying structures have become home to the restless spirits of those who must have within their homes.
I'm fine, not internet
From
though.
eerie whispers to ghostly echoes broken only by the occasional metallic clang of a door that was never touched. This place was once a jail, but in its later years, part of it served as a school for troubled youth. The stories say that the inmates who once roamed these halls never left, Some have their lives violently ended in the cells they call home. But it is the children who stir the most fear. On the whole, still nights, the sound of small footsteps echo in the hallways, followed by faint whispers, as if they're trying to speak, to warn. In the shadows, figures dart just out of sight, and the lingering smell of old, dusty books fills the air. Some say
I mean, John Tavares on this team would be really good, actually. He could be like a really good leader for the guard.
2. Riverside Indian School, Oklahoma, USA. The Riverside Indian School, though long abandoned, still resonates with the sorrow of the children who were forced into its classrooms. The stories passed down from generation to generation speak of students who never returned home, taken by sickness or by hands that were meant to protect them. At night, visitors have heard soft crying, but when they search the empty rooms, there's no one to be found. Some who have dared to explore say they've seen figures in traditional dress walking down the long, barren hallways, only for them to disappear into thin air. But it's the dreams that haunt those who leave. Dreams of children calling out for help, their eyes filled with fear, their small hands reaching out into the void. 3. Pocatello High School, Idaho, USA. Pocatello High School still stands, its brick facade hiding a history of death and despair. There are tales of students who lost their lives within its walls, but their spirits remain, eternally bound to the place of their final breath. A girl in a white dress is said to appear in the restroom mirrors, her reflection clear as day, though she stands nowhere in the room. Students from years past have spoken of lockers swinging open by themselves, and on some nights the lights flicker uncontrollably, as if someone is trying to communicate from the other side. The most chilling story is that of the auditorium. Those who step onto the stage claim to hear applause coming from the empty seats, followed by faint laughter. But when they look, the seats are empty. Empty, except for the shadows that watch. 4. Elkins High School, West Virginia, USA. Elkins High School is nothing more than a skeleton of a building now, overtaken by nature. But deep inside, where the walls are cracked and the floorboards groan, there is something darker. They say the janitor who once worked tirelessly to keep the school clean met a tragic end in the boiler room. Since then, strange occurrences have been reported. Doors slammed shut with no warning. The unmistakable sound of footsteps echoed through the empty halls, and some have even seen a shadowy figure dragging a mop behind it. The most unsettling story comes from those who dare venture into the basement, where the janitor's ghost is said to dwell. Down there, the air is thick with an oppressive chill, and if you listen closely, you can hear the faint sound of a broom sweeping, but there's no one there. 5. Old South Pittsburgh Hospital and Nursing School, Tennessee, USA. The Old South Pittsburgh Hospital was once a place of healing, but it has since become a place of death and despair. The hospital, which also housed a nursing school, is now a hotbed of paranormal activity. Nurses who never graduated are said to roam the halls, their faces obscured by shadows, their footsteps light as they continue their rounds in the afterlife. The sound of hospital equipment mixed in with the faint whispers of medical orders can be heard in the dead of night, even though the building has been empty for years. In the dark corners of the hospital, shadowy figures lurk, watching, waiting. Some visitors have reported being touched or scratched by unseen hands, and there are stories of a phantom doctor still making his rounds, his presence marked by the heavy scent of antiseptic. 6. Pine Haven School, Jamestown, USA. Pine Haven School, long forgotten by the town that once depended on it, is a place where the innocent should never linger. The windows are broken, the playground rusted, but the spirits of children seem to remain. They say if you walk past the school at dusk, you can hear the faint sounds of laughter carried on the wind. But the moment you step closer, everything falls silent. Some have claimed to see small faces peeking from the windows, their eyes wide with curiosity, or perhaps something darker. There are those who swear they've seen children's handprints on the dusty windows, though no living child has touched them in years. Inside, gets even worse. The feeling of being watched is overwhelming, and at times a soft voice can be heard calling out from the empty classrooms. 7. Beaufort Mountain School, Cambodia. Perched on the mist-covered slopes of Beaufort Mountain, the remains of an old French colonial town are swallowed by the jungle. Among its relics stands a school, now just a skeleton of cracked walls and shattered windows. The air is thick with a sense of abandonment. But what draws people to this eerie place is not just its solitude, it's the ghostly tales that echo through its crumbling corridors. At night, the mountain fog curls through the broken doors and faint voices can be heard calling through the mist. Some say they belong to students who never made it out of the mountains during the chaos of the French occupation. Shadows flit past the windows, and visitors have reported cold hands gripping their shoulders, only to turn and find nothing. The jungle may have taken back the land, but the spirits of those who once studied here are said to linger, forever lost in the mountain's endless mist. 8. Belvedere College, Dublin, Ireland. Belvedere College in Dublin, once a beacon of learning, now stands silent, its tall spires looming over the surrounding streets. But what was once a place of knowledge is now rumored to be a place of unrest. It is said that in the dead of night, the sound of a bell echoes through the empty halls, an old school bell that hasn't rung in decades. Footsteps can be heard pacing the corridors, but when anyone investigates, the halls are empty. Some say it's the restless spirit of a student who never left, forever doomed to wander the school, searching for something long lost. Shadows move in the corners of rooms where no one stands, and occasionally, figures are seen sitting at the desks, their faces obscured by shadows, as if waiting for a class that will never begin. Those who have spent the night here claim they feel watched at all times, as though the very walls themselves are alive with the memories of the past. 9th, Sai Ying Pun School, Hong Kong. Sai Ying Pun School, an imposing structure from the early colonial days of Hong Kong, carries with it a dark and tragic history. Originally intended as a school, it became a place of refuge during World War II, only to be the site of untold horrors. Now abandoned, it is said to be haunted by those who perished during the war. On moonless nights, the eerie glow of candles can be seen flickering in the windows, though the building has been empty for years. Visitors have reported hearing the sound of heavy boots marching up the stairs, and some say they've seen the figures of soldiers patrolling the grounds, rifles slung over their ghostly shoulders. But it's the laughter of children that is the most chilling, small, soft, and far away, echoing through the darkened halls. Those who have dared to stay here overnight claim they've been awoken by the sensation of a cold hand brushing against their skin, only to find the room empty and silent. 10. Old Changi Hospital, Singapore. The Old Changi Hospital, once a symbol of hope, quickly became a place of fear and death during World War II. But long after its doors closed, the spirits of those who suffered here have remained. It was once used as a makeshift school for children during the post-war period, but the echoes of war were never far away. Today, the decaying building is infamous for its paranormal activity. Footsteps are often heard, along with whispers in languages long forgotten. Figures in hospital gowns roam the hallways, disappearing into walls, and in the old school wing, the sounds of children playing can still be heard, though the rooms have been empty for decades. The most terrifying encounters are in the operating theaters, where visitors have felt cold hands grip their arms and heard the chilling sound of surgical tools clinking, as if ghosts of doctors from the past still perform their grisly work. 11. D. Jarnett Sanitarium and School, Virginia, USA. The D. Jarnett Sanitarium, a place that once served both as a mental hospital and school, stands as a monument to suffering and sorrow. The spirits of the children who were confined here are said to haunt its decaying halls. The school, which was part of the institution, was meant to educate troubled youths, but it became a place of terror for many. Today, the empty classrooms are filled with the eerie laughter of unseen children. Doors open and the sound of chalk scraping on blackboards can be heard, though no one is there. The most chilling reports come from the old dormitories, where visitors have seen the ghostly figures of children standing by their beds, staring out with hollow eyes as if waiting for something or someone to come for them. 12. Poasttown Elementary School, Ohio, USA. Poasttown Elementary School is a place frozen in time. Its playground is empty, its walls silent, but the spirits of the children who once attended the school are far from gone. Visitors to this abandoned school have reported hearing the sound of children laughing and playing, but the playground is deserted. Inside, the classrooms are eerily still, but sometimes, in the silence, a faint giggle or whisper can be heard. People have seen toys moving by themselves, and in some cases, the chilling sight of ghostly children running down the halls has left even the most seasoned paranormal investigators speechless. But it's in the gymnasium where the true horror lies. On some nights, the sound of a basketball bouncing echoes through the empty space, followed by the fleeting shadow of a small figure darting across the court, disappearing into the darkness. 13th, Central State Asylum School, Milledgeville, Georgia, USA. Deep in the heart of Georgia lies the Central State Asylum, once the largest mental institution in the United States. Hidden within its sprawling campus was a school built to educate the young patients. But this place became something far more sinister. Stories tell of students who never left the classroom, their cries for help lost in the cold stone walls of the asylum. Now abandoned, the school's eerie silence is only broken by strange, unexplainable noises. Visitors report hearing the soft murmur of children's voices coming from empty rooms, and the distant sound of desks scraping across the floor. But the most terrifying encounters are said to happen in the old arch, where ghostly figures of children, their faces pale and gaunt, can be seen sketching with invisible pencils. On the blackboard, messages written in chalk appear and disappear without warning, spelling out names long forgotten. Some say the children are still trapped here, forever repeating their lessons, doomed to remain within the asylum's haunted walls. Those who leave often speak of cold fingers brushing against them, or the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes, always from the corners where the shadows grow darkest. 14th Danvers State Hospital and School, Massachusetts, USA. The infamous Danvers State Hospital, a Gothic structure that looms over the Massachusetts landscape, once housed the criminally insane. Part of the hospital served as a school for the patients, but learning here was far from normal. It is said that the spirits of the patients, both adults and children, remain trapped within the hospital's decaying walls. The air is thick with the sense of dread, and the sound of shuffling feet can be heard along the endless corridors. Visitors have reported seeing shadowy figures standing in the windows, watching as they approach, only to disappear when they draw near. The classrooms, once filled with lessons of hope, now echo in whispers, voices of the lost, calling out in desperation. Some have seen the ghostly forms of children sitting at their desks, staring blankly ahead, as if still waiting for a teacher who will never return. 15. The old Royal High School, Edinburgh surrounding the school speak of students who never quite left. On foggy nights, the distant sound of a school bell tolling can be heard echoing through the air, even though the bell hasn't rung for decades. Those brave enough to wander its corridors report seeing shadowy figures darting between the dilapidated classrooms, and many have claimed to feel a chilling presence watching them from the old library. The most chilling of stories involves a student who mysteriously vanished without a trace. It is said that her spirit roams the halls, searching for something she lost. Some visitors even claim to hear her soft sobs in the dead of night, pleading for help. As you walk through the crumbling remnants of the old Royal High School, you can almost feel the weight of history pressing down on you, reminding you that the past is never truly gone. These schools, once places of learning, are now haunted by the echoes of the past. Their stories of sorrow, fear, and the supernatural continue to chill the bones of all who dare to visit. If you enjoyed this spine-chilling journey through the world, welcome to our journey through the darkest corners of America's most haunted population. From abandoned psychiatric wards to chilling sanatoriums, these places hold terrifying secrets. What spirits still wander these halls? What stories of pain and suffering linger long after the patients are gone? Get ready to explore the eerie and unexplained as we uncover the top 15 haunted hospitals in America. 1. Waverly Hills.
Just not have it stretched yet. Oh shit, I could actually snag him right now.
Once a place of hope for those.
Oh, he plays on the first line very fucking well.
Waverly Hills Sanatorium has become one of the most
Damn, they don't want Hollow.
in America.
They want Naser. I'm not dealing with Naser, but that.
This hospital saw thousands of patients come through its doors, many of whom would never leave. The disease was deadly, and at the height of the outbreak, as many as one person per hour was said to die here. To avoid scaring other patients, the hospital staff used a tunnel now known as the death chute to transport bodies.
It's gonna be over a good back.
Today, despite paranormal sightings, disembodied voices,
How many
shadow
just straight happen? I want middle sign on this team.
Room 502 is another hotspot for ghostly activity. It's said that a nurse committed suicide in this room and her spirit lingers. Visitors report seeing apparitions and feeling intense dread.
Radish.
The legends of Waverly Hills have attracted paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike, all hoping for a glimpse of the otherworldly. 2. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, Weston, West Virginia. Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, originally built in the 1860s to house 250 patients, quickly became overcrowded with over 2,400 residents at its peak. Patients suffered not just from mental illness, but also from horrific treatments, including lobotomies and electric shock therapy.
I think not over.
Many of the
Okay.
patients here lived out their final days in misery, and their spirits are said to haunt the halls. The building itself, with its Gothic architecture, looks like something straight out of a horror movie. But it's the inside that really terrifies visitors. Reports of ghostly sightings,
Yep, there it is.
full-bodied apparitions are common.
Casey
For
Middleston.
the spirits is that of a little girl named Lily, who is said to haunt one of the patient wards. Visitors have heard her giggles and seen her bawl looking across the floor. It's a place of tragedy, and those who walk through its doors today are likely to
Your
get more
girlfriend was
questions
making
than
sure.
answers about what still lingers within. 3. Rolling Hills Asylum, East Bethany, New York. Established in 1827 as a poorhouse, Rolling Hills Asylum became home to the mentally ill, orphans, and elderly, who had no one to care for them. Over the years, it housed thousands of people, many of whom died within its walls. The most famous ghost said to haunt the halls is Roy, a 7-foot-tall former patient. Roy's spirit is often seen wandering the halls, and many who visit claim to have heard footsteps, whispers, and seen shadow figures. The morgue and the basement are particularly active areas for paranormal activity, with reports of eerie moaning and objects moving on their own. Paranormal investigators and visitors alike have captured EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, and strange occurrences on camera. It's said that Rolling Hills is a portal to the spirit world, and those brave enough to explore it might just come face to face with a ghost from its tragic past. 4. Old Tool Hospital, Tool, Utah. Once a family home turned hospital and later a nursing home, Old Tool Hospital has seen its share of death and tragedy. Built in the late 1800s, the building now stands abandoned, but that doesn't mean it's empty. The ghost of a man named Richard, believed to be a former patient, is often seen wandering the halls. Visitors have also reported hearing phantom footsteps, disembodied voices, and experiencing sudden drops in temperature. The basement is considered one of the most haunted areas, with reports of objects moving on their own, and a general feeling of unease. Some say the spirits here are restless, tied to the building due to the traumatic experiences they had while alive. Paranormal investigators who have visited Old Tool Hospital report strong EVP recordings and have even captured shadowy figures on video. For those looking to experience the paranormal, this hospital is a prime destination. 5. Linda Vista Community Hospital, Los Angeles, California. Once a thriving hospital in the Boyle Heights neighborhood of Los Angeles, Linda Vista Community Hospital closed its doors in 1991. But the stories of paranormal activity have kept it alive in the minds of ghost hunters. During its operation, it was known for treating railway workers, and many of those who died from their injuries are said to still roam the halls. The hospital saw its fair share of violence, including gang activity in the surrounding area, which led to frequent shootings and stabbings. Today, visitors report seeing shadow figures, hearing phantom voices, and experiencing unexplained cold spots. The hospital has been featured on numerous paranormal TV shows, and its eerie atmosphere makes it a popular spot for thrill seekers. Whether it's the spirits of former patients or something darker, there's no denying the sense of dread that fills the air in the Vista. 6. Pennhurst Asylum, Spring City, Pennsylvania. Pennhurst Asylum is infamous not only for its paranormal activity, but also for its history of neglect and abuse. Opened in 1908, the institution quickly became overcrowded, and reports of inhumane treatment began to surface. Patients, many of them children, were subjected to horrific conditions, and the screams of the mistreated still echo through the halls today. Shadow figures are often seen darting through the corridors, and visitors report hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and even the sound of doors slamming shut. One of the most active areas is the underground tunnels, which were used to transport patients and supplies. The energy in the building is heavy, and many visitors leave with a feeling of deep sadness. Paranormal investigators have captured compelling evidence of ghostly activity, and the asylum remains a chilling reminder of the past. 7. Eloise Psychiatric Hospital, Westland, Michigan. Eloise Psychiatric Hospital was once a sprawling complex that housed thousands of patients. From the mentally ill to those suffering from tuberculosis, Eloise saw a wide range of patients come through its doors. Over the years, it became known for its use of controversial treatments, including electroshock therapy and lobotomies. The spirits of those who died at Eloise are said to still roam the abandoned buildings. Visitors report hearing strange noises, seeing lights flicker, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Some even claim to have seen full-bodied apparitions of former patients. The hospital's most haunted areas include the tunnels that connect the various buildings, where voices and footsteps can still be heard echoing through the darkness. It's a place where the past refuses to stay buried, and those who venture inside often leave with more than just a spooky story. 8. Yorktown Memorial Hospital, Yorktown, Texas. Yorktown Memorial Hospital is a small abandoned hospital with a dark and haunted past. Opened in 1951 and run by the Felician Sisters, it served the town of Yorktown until it closed in the 1980s. Despite its size, the hospital has earned a reputation for being one of the most haunted places in Texas. Visitors report seeing full-bodied apparitions, hearing phantom voices, and experiencing objects moving on their own. One of the most infamous areas is the chapel, where a nun is said to have been murdered. The spirit is often seen standing near the altar, and those who enter the room report a feeling of intense cold. The hospital's old surgical rooms are also known for paranormal activity, with many visitors hearing the sounds of medical equipment being used, despite the hospital being long abandoned. Ghost hunters who have investigated Yorktown Memorial Hospital have captured chilling EVPs and unexplained footage, making it a hotspot for those seeking a supernatural experience. 9. Taunton State Hospital, Taunton, Massachusetts. Taunton State Hospital was built in the 1850s as a psychiatric facility, but over the years it has become infamous for the dark rituals and paranormal activity reported within its walls. Many patients were subjected to cruel and unusual treatments, and some of the hospital's doctors are said to have been involved in occult practices. The basement, in particular, is notorious for reports of satanic rituals, and visitors often feel an overwhelming sense of evil when entering the area. Shadow figures have been seen darting down the hallways, and many claim to have heard disembodied voices and screams. One of the most chilling legends involves a patient who was left in a solitary confinement room for years, and whose spirit is said to still haunt the hospital. Paranormal investigators have documented strange occurrences at Taunton, making it one of the most terrifying haunted hospitals in America. 10 Norwich State Hospital, Preston, Connecticut. Norwich State Hospital, originally opened in 1904, was designed to care for patients suffering from mental illness, tuberculosis, and other chronic diseases. Over the years, the hospital expanded to include a series of buildings connected by underground tunnels. Despite its intentions, the hospital became known for overcrowding, patient neglect, and controversial treatments. The spirits of former patients are said to haunt the hospital, with many visitors reporting strange noises, shadow figures, and cold spots. The most active areas are the abandoned wards and the morgue, where voices and footsteps can still be heard echoing through the empty halls. One of the more famous hauntings involves the ghost of a young boy, who is often seen running through the hallways. Paranormal investigators who have visited Norwich State Hospital have captured disturbing EVPs and witnessed objects moving on their own, adding to its haunted reputation. 11. Fairfield Hills State Hospital, Newtown, Connecticut. Fairfield Hills State Hospital, a psychiatric facility built in 1931, housed thousands of patients during its operation. Known for its sprawling campus and underground tunnels, the hospital has become notorious for its paranormal activity. The patients here were subjected to a variety of treatments, including electric shock therapy and lobotomies, many of which left them in a state of permanent suffering. Today, the spirits of those patients are said to haunt the abandoned buildings, with shadow figures seen roaming the halls and unexplained footsteps heard echoing through the corridors. The tunnels connecting the buildings are particularly eerie, with many visitors reporting feelings of being watched or followed. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs and even witnessed objects moving by themselves. Fairfield Hills remains a chilling reminder of the horrors of early psychiatric treatments, and those who visit often leave with a sense of unease. 12 Danvers State Hospital, Danvers, Massachusetts. Danvers State Hospital, also known as the Hospital of Horror, opened its doors in 1878. It was designed to treat mentally ill patients, but over the years the conditions inside became nightmarish. Overcrowding, abuse, and experimental treatments such as lobotomies were common, and many patients died within its walls. The hospital's Gothic architecture only adds to its eerie atmosphere, but it's the paranormal activity that truly terrifies visitors. Shadow figures are often seen darting through the abandoned wards, and disembodied voices can be heard throughout the building. One of the most infamous areas is the underground tunnels, where many bodies were transported after patients died. Paranormal investigators have captured disturbing EVPs and witnessed ghostly apparitions in the tunnels, and many believe that the spirits of the mistreated patients still linger unable to find peace. Danvers State Hospital remains a haunted landmark, drawing in ghost hunters and thrill seekers alike. 13th Street Alban Sanatorium, Radford, Virginia. St. Alban Sanatorium, originally built as a boys' school in 1892, became a mental hospital in 1916. Over the years, the hospital gained a reputation for its harsh treatments and brutal conditions. Patients were subjected to electric shock therapy, ice baths, and lobotomies, leading many to believe that the spirits of those who suffered still haunt the building today. The most infamous hauntings include poltergeist activity, with objects being thrown across rooms, disembodied screams, and apparitions of former patients. The basement is considered one of the most haunted areas, with reports of violent ghostly encounters. Visitors have reported being scratched, pushed, or even hit by unseen forces. The spirit of a young girl is also said to roam the building, and many have heard her voice calling out to them. St. Alban abandoned for decades, but that hasn't stopped the reports of paranormal activity. Built in the 1930s, the hospital was designed to treat patients suffering from tuberculosis, a deadly disease that claimed many lives during that time. The hospital closed in the 1980s, but visitors have reported seeing ghostly apparitions, hearing strange noises, and witnessing unexplained lights in the windows of the abandoned buildings. most haunted areas are the children's ward and the morgue, where the spirits of former patients are said to linger. Many believe that the souls of those who died from tuberculosis are still trapped within the hospital, unable to move on. Paranormal investigators who have explored Glendale Hospital have captured chilling evidence of ghostly activity, and the hospital remains a favorite destination for those seeking the paranormal. 15. The Ridges, Athens Lunatic Asylum, Athens, Ohio. The Ridges, formerly known as the Athens Lunatic Asylum, opened in 1874 and was notorious for its controversial treatments and high patient death toll. The hospital became infamous for housing patients who were considered criminally insane, and many of them never left. The most famous haunting involves the spirit of a woman who died in an isolation room and whose body was not discovered for weeks. The stain of her body is said to still be visible on the floor, and her spirit is often seen wandering the hallways. Shadow figures, disembodied voices, and strange noises are commonly reported by visitors. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs and witnessed ghostly apparitions, especially in the cemetery where many former patients were buried in unmarked graves. The Ridges is a chilling reminder of the dark history of psychiatric care, and its haunted reputation continues to draw those curious about the supernatural. The stories of these haunted hospitals remind us of the tragic pasts and the lives that were forever changed within their walls. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the eerie atmosphere and chilling history of these locations are undeniable. Thanks for joining us on this spine-tingling journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe. The Masonic Temple in Detroit is not only renowned for its stunning Gothic Revival architecture, but is also infamous for its ghostly tales and haunted history. Built in 1926, it is the largest Masonic temple in the world, with a complex design that includes numerous rooms, theaters, and corridors. This labyrinthian structure has given rise to many eerie stories over the years. One of the most well-known legends involves the building's architect, George T. Mason. According to local folklore, Mason faced severe financial difficulties during the construction of the temple and supposedly lost his entire fortune. Some stories claim that he committed suicide by jumping from one of the temple's towers, although there is no historical evidence to confirm this. Nevertheless, many visitors and staff members have reported sightings of a shadowy figure believed to be Mason's ghost wandering the upper floors. In addition to the architect's ghost, many have heard unexplained footsteps and doors opening and closing by themselves, especially at night, in deserted parts of the building. One particular room in the temple is notorious for paranormal activity. Visitors often describe an unexplainable chill and the sensation of being watched when entering this room. Another story involves the ghosts of construction workers who allegedly died during the temple's construction. Their spirits are said to appear as shadowy figures or faint whispers, echoing the hardships they endured. The temple's theaters are also rumored to be haunted. Actors and stage crew have reported seeing ghostly apparitions and hearing strange noises when no one else is present. Some have experienced the unnerving sensation of being watched while performing on stage. Whether these stories are true or merely urban legends, the haunted reputation of the Masonic Temple in Detroit adds an intriguing layer to its historical and architectural significance, drawing thrill seekers and paranormal enthusiasts from all over. The St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida is famous for being one of the most haunted locations in the United States, steeped in history and eerie legends. Completed in 1874, the lighthouse has served as a vital navigational aid along the Florida coast. However, it's the ghostly tales that have captured the imagination of many. One of the most well-known stories involves the spirits of two young sisters, Eliza and Mary Pritchard. In the 1870s, while their father, Hezekiah Pritchard, was overseeing the lighthouse's construction, the sisters were flying in a construction cart that tragically broke loose, sending them plummeting into the ocean when they drowned. Ever since, visitors and staff have reported hearing children's laughter and seeing apparitions of the girls playing and peeking out from behind windows. Another spectral resident is believed to be Joseph Undred, a former lighthouse keeper who died in the 1850s after falling from the original lighthouse while painting it. His ghost is said to haunt the lighthouse, with many visitors hearing phantom footsteps on the spiral staircase and catching glimpses of a figure at the top of the tower, as if Joseph continues to watch over the sea. Additionally, the apparition of a lady in white is often seen wandering the grounds, believed to be the spirit of a former keeper's wife searching for her lost love. The lighthouse's reputation for hauntings has drawn the attention of paranormal investigators, featuring on shows like Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters. These investigations have recorded unexplained voices, shadowy figures, and sudden cold spots, adding to the lighthouse's eerie mystique. Today, the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum offers ghost tours where visitors can explore the site and experience its chilling atmosphere, hoping for a glimpse of the supernatural. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the lighthouse stands as a fascinating testament to both history and legend, inviting all to visit to uncover its mysteries. San Fernando Cathedral in San Antonio, Texas, is known for its historic beauty and its reputation for being haunted. The cathedral, built in the 18th century, stands as one of the oldest cathedrals in the United States, with a rich history that includes tales of the supernatural. One of the most famous stories of the haunting revolves around the figure of a spectral monk. It is said that late at night, when the cathedral is empty, a mysterious shadowy figure can be seen walking down the aisles dressed in the robes of a monk. Witnesses have reported feeling a sudden chill in the air as they catch a glimpse of the apparition, who is believed to be a ghost from the cathedral's early days. Some say the monk was buried within the church walls and continues to watch over the sacred grounds. Visitors have also reported hearing unexplained sounds, such as footsteps echoing through the empty halls and whispered prayers from invisible lips. The cathedral's bells are known to ring on them, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Another chilling tale tells of ghostly apparitions appearing in photographs taken by tourists, often showing shadowy figures standing beside them when no one was present. The most unsettling account involves the spirits of the soldiers who fought and died in the nearby battles of the Alamo. Some believe that their restless souls have found their way to the cathedral, seeking solace or redemption. There have been reports of ghostly figures in military attire wandering the grounds, their faces etched with expressions of sorrow. Despite its haunted reputation, San Fernando Cathedral remains a place of worship and community, its rich history drawing both the faithful and the curious. Whether one believes in ghosts or not, the cathedral's stories add a layer of mystery and intrigue to this historic landmark, making it a must-visit for those interested in the paranormal. While the stories may send a shiver down your spine, they also serve as a reminder of the many lives and events that have shaped this remarkable place. In the dense forest of South Carolina lies the Poinsett Bridge, a beautiful yet eerie structure that has stood since 1820. This bridge, known as the oldest in the state, carries a haunting tale that has sent shivers down the spines of many who dare to visit after dark. The legend tells of a tragic accident that occurred during the bridge's construction. A worker, whose name has long been forgotten, met his untimely death when a heavy stone fell upon him, trapping his spirit beneath the ancient stones. Since that day, locals and visitors alike have reported chilling encounters at the bridge. On misty nights, when the moon hangs low and the air is thick with fog, it's said that you can hear the ghostly moans of the lost worker. Some have even claimed to see a shadowy figure moving beneath the bridge, as if eternally laboring on his unfinished task. The air grows cold, and an inexplicable feeling of dread washes over those who dare to cross. One particularly chilling account comes from a group of friends who visited the bridge one autumn evening. As they approached, their car suddenly stalled, and the air became frigid. The radio began to emit static, interrupted by faint whispers they couldn't quite decipher. The bravest among them stepped out, flashlight in hand, only to see a translucent figure standing at the entrance of the bridge. Terrified, they fled the scene, swearing never to return. Despite its beauty and historical significance, the Poinsett Bridge remains a place grounded in mystery and fear. so forth. One thing is certain, the bridge holds secrets of the past, echoing through time and chilling the hearts of those who dare to visit. The Dock Street Theater in Charleston, South Carolina, is famous not only for its stunning architecture and vibrant performances, but also for the eerie tales of ghostly apparitions that haunt its halls. Built in 1736, the Dock Street Theater was the first building in America designed exclusively for theatrical performances. It has a rich history, having survived fires, earthquakes, and multiple renovations. But amidst this rich tapestry of history, one ghostly tale stands out: the spirit of Nettie Dickerson. Nettie Dickerson was a young woman who lived in Charleston in the 19th century. Aspiring to be a lady of high society, she often dressed in her finest red gown and attended the theater, hoping to catch the eye of wealthy patrons. Tragically, her dreams were never realized, and she met an untimely end, struck by lightning on the balcony of the Planters Hotel, which later became part of the Dock Street Theater. Legend has it that Nettie's spirit never left. Visitors and staff have reported seeing a spectral figure dressed in a glowing red gown, roaming the second-floor balcony. Her presence is often accompanied by a sudden chill in the air, and the faint scent of jasmine, her favorite flower. On quiet nights when the theater is empty, the sound of her footsteps can be heard echoing through the corridors. Some have even claimed to hear her soft voice singing a melancholic tune, as if lamenting her unfulfilled dreams. Despite the eerie encounters, many believe Nettie means no harm. She simply lingers in a place that held the promise of a life she never had. To this day, the Dock Street Theater remains a captivating blend of history and mystery, where the past and present intertwine, and the spirit of Nettie Dickerson adds an enigmatic charm to its storied halls. Nestled in the heart of Savannah, Georgia, the Moon River Brewery is known not only for its craft beers, but also for its haunted past. The building, constructed in 1821, originally served as the City Hotel, a popular establishment for travelers and townsfolk alike. However, beneath its bustling exterior lay a dark history that many say still lingers within its walls. One of the most famous tales involves James Stark, a man known for his fiery temper and disdain for the locals. In 1832, Stark found himself in a heated argument with Dr. Philip Minnies, a respected physician. The feud culminated in a deadly confrontation at the hotel, where Dr. Minnies shot Stark in self-defense. Since that fateful night, patrons and employees have reported encountering Stark's restless spirit, often described as a shadowy figure roaming the upper floors. Some have even heard his footsteps echoing through the halls when no one else is around. Another eerie legend centers around the basement, which served as a makeshift hospital during Savannah's many yellow fever outbreaks. Countless victims of the disease were treated there, and it is said that their spirits have never left. Employees have reported being pushed by unseen forces and feeling cold spots in certain areas, leading many to avoid the basement altogether. Perhaps the most unsettling experience belongs to a former bartender who, while closing up one night, witnessed a bottle inexplicably lift off the shelf and smash to the floor. Startled, she looked around, only to find herself alone in a dimly lit room. Visitors to the Moon River Brewery often share tales of their own encounters, making it a favorite destination for both beer enthusiasts and ghost hunters. Whether you believe in the supernatural or not, there's no denying that the Moon River Brewery holds an air of mystery and intrigue, inviting all who enter to experience a piece of Savannah's haunted history. In the heart of Tumulta, Nevada, stands the historic Mista Hotel, a grand establishment built in 1907. Once the tallest building in the state, its 5 stories house miners, travelers, and, as legend has it, A few lingering spirits. The most famous ghost of the Mizpah Hotel is known as the Lady in Red. According to local lore, she was a beautiful woman in the 1920s who often visited the hotel. Some say she was a lady of the evening, while others believe she was simply a glamorous socialite. Her life was tragically cut short when she was murdered on the 5th floor by a jealous lover. Guests and staff have reported numerous encounters with the Lady in Red. She is often seen roaming the halls in a flowing red gown, leaving behind a faint scent of roses. Some felt a gentle tap on their shoulders, only to turn and find no one there. Others have experienced mysterious whispers and an unexplained movement of objects. One chilling tale involves a couple staying on the 5th floor. In the middle of the night, they were awakened by the sound of soft, feminine laughter. When they switched on the lights, they found a red rose on their nightstand, a gift from the spectral lady. The elevator has also been known to act strangely, stopping on the 5th floor, even the Mariners homes. The Mizpah Hotel continues to embrace its haunted history, inviting visitors to stay at night without music glimpse of its most famous residents. Whether skeptic or believer, those who visit often leave with their own tale to tell, adding to the legend of the haunted Mizpah Hotel. Nestled in the dense forests of St. Francisville, Louisiana, Myrtle's Plantation stands as a grand testament to the land-developed town. However, beneath its charming facade lies a chilling legend that has haunted its halls for centuries. The story begins in the late 18th century when the plantation was owned by General David Bradford. According to legend, a slave named Chloe worked in the mansion, serving the family. Chloe was fearful of losing her position and took to eavesdropping on the family's conversations. One day she was caught by the master, and, as punishment, her ear was cut off. Cut under scar, Chloe wore a green turban from that day forward. Desperate to regain favor, Chloe devised a plan to poison the family with opium. Intending to kill them later, and since they did, tragically, the lamb went alone, leading to the deaths of Sarah Matilda, the master's wife, and 2 of their children. Chloe, fearing retribution from the other slaves, was hanged and thrown into the Mississippi River. Since that fateful day, Chloe's spirit set to roam the plantation. Her ghost, often seen in her signature green turban, appears in photographs and occasionally in front sketches. Visitors report hearing footsteps echoing in empty corridors and sounds of children laughing and broken faces. One chilling tale involves the mirrors of Myrtle. According to custom, mirrors are covered when someone dies to prevent the soul from becoming trapped. However, in the case of Sarah and her children, a mirror reflects their color. Today, the mirror bears the impressions of handprints and mysterious smudges that cannot be wiped away, believed to be the souls of those lost in Chloe's tragic bonding. Myrtle's Plantation remains one of America's most haunted homes, drawing countless visitors eager to experience its eerie beauty and perhaps catch a glimpse of its restless spirits. Whether fact or folklore, the legend of Chloe and the haunted plantation continues to captivate and terrify those who dare to explore its haunted halls. In the heart of Philadelphia stands a grim fortress within its Penn State Penitentiary, a place that once housed some of America's most notorious criminals, including Al Capone. Its imposing stone walls are filled with its tall tales of despair. Revolutionary system of incarceration that reforms prisoners through isolation and reflection. However, the harsh solitary confinement took a toll on its insanity, and the once intended reformative experience quickly turned into a living nightmare. As the years went by, the penitentiary became a hotbed of unrest, both among its prisoners and the spirits believed to linger long after its closure in 1971. One of the most famous ghostly legends in Eastern State involves the story of the locksmith. In the 1990s, a restoration crew was tasked with opening cell blocks that had been sealed for decades. A locksmith working into it before 112-year-old locked found himself in a chilling encounter. As he dismantled the locks, he claimed to have experienced a thrilling, otherworldly sensation, as if the air grew heavier. Suddenly, he was overwhelmed by visions of distorted faces appearing on the walls, their mouths open in silent screams. Now that he could see the tortured souls of the nights, trapped in a prison of those stony eyes. Visitors often report hearing whispers echoing to the cell blocks, and some even claim to have seen shadowy figures flitting between the cells. The most haunted spot is said to be cell block 7, where disembodied corpses and captives often can be heard in the desert. Today, Eastern State Penitentiary stands as a haunting reminder of the past. It is a popular destination for those who of the history or perhaps a brush with the supernatural. Those who dare to visit are often wondering if the spirits of Eastern State have finally found rest, or if they may have found their dark gifts. Tonight, the spirit of quiet of the episode crowds, a place in history of the whispers of those who once fought there. As the moonlight fades, the fields, presence of the great women, stirring the tales of hundreds that live long selected this hour. One of the most famous stories is that of the phantom soldiers who are said to appear in the early hours of the morning. As the mist rolls over the fields, visitors have reported seeing ghostly figures marching in formation, their uniforms tattered and worn. Witnesses claim that the soldiers are locked in a perpetual loop, reliving their final moments before the bloody battle of Gettysburg claimed their lives. There is also the legend of Devil's Death, a rock beyond crossfit saw intense fighting during the battle. Many have felt a strange presence there, and some have captured inexplicable photos featuring the spirit of a soldier with long hair and bare feet, thought to be a Texan soldier who had something at their spot. Visitors often feel an unsettling sense of needing watching, and electronic devices mysteriously malfunction in the area. The Gettysburg Hotel, once used as a hospital during the battle, is said to be haunted by the spirits of those who never left. Guests have reported hearing disembodied footsteps and the cries of wounded soldiers echoing through the halls. The apparition of a nurse known as the Blue Lady is often seen tending to the spectral soldiers. As a certain sense of comfort to the otherwise chilling account. Stories adds to the rich tapestry of ghostly lores and creation. When the efforts of the last the battlefield emphasized the reminder of the black response. Living spirits forever bound to the house. As the night moves the veil between the living and the dead seems to thin, and makes clear the visitor. Sense of history and supernatural. The August courthouse indigenous Charles Lee, the federal murder Claude Cowboy Henry. After Cowboy was imprisoned for murder, Amy Cleo devised a plan to free him. Along with his accomplice, she hatched a plot that led to the brutal murder of the man Joseph Cowboy. Her crime resulted in her arrest and trial at the Calgary courthouse. During her trial, Joe became infamous for her charisma and cold demeanor, captivating the courtroom with her dark charm. Despite her efforts to manipulate the jury, she was found guilty and sentenced to death. On November 28, 1942, she met her fate in the electric chair, becoming the first and only woman to be executed in Louisiana by this method. It is said that 20 years later, for the most important, over the years, and people have witnessed extracted occurrences of victims, staff, and visitors, which will find footsteps echoing through the hallway, and to witness mysterious footsteps. Some people have seen a ghostly apparition disappearing during the quality action, but then kills herself. The last particularly chilling encounter involved a suspicion. This plot cast the courtroom where Tony Joe was tried. He heard of it, softly singing. Thinking it was someone who had accidentally stayed behind, he entered the room only to find it empty.